Alright, hello and welcome to episode 11 of the Pokemon Speedruns podcast, streaming live from Gala region. It is hosted by the 3 Bits, but who gives a shit? We've got the special guest JP Zinam, but who gives a shit? Because our other special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, the Pokemon Emerald any percent glitchless world record holder, we got Shiru. Hi Shiru.
Yeah, what's up? Do I sound like a legend?
You sound like a legend. You will permanently be a legend until this record gets beaten by Exarion, sorry.
That's pretty epic. Just never post the chain manip guide and it's basically mine forever. Wow.
Didn't he make his own?
He did.
He basically ended up not liking yours, and
I'm pretty sure Pulse made one as well, but
yeah, Pulse has his own one too. Yeah.
But
yeah, like everybody has. It's just they're just bad though.
Shiru's is the best.
Yes, I agree because it's the only one for me that works.
Shiru seems the most mapped out. I'll give it that. But I've thrown your PV up on the stream. I've done my absolute bestest job of highlighting the one issue in the entire run.
Yeah, I can't swim. That's the one.
No, you can't bike through Skypillar in this one.
Oh right, we're doing the good PV first.
We're doing the good PV, yeah. Well, I haven't. I didn't actually put up a link for this one. I'm doing my job.
I mean, why would we show the worst PV when we can show the great?
For people watching who aren't really understanding what the hell we're on about, Shiru has taken the Pokemon Emerald glitchless record, but not only has he taken it once, he actually beat it twice this month. He got a 2:32.08, beats Exarion's time by a handful of seconds? Question mark?
Yeah, it was a 2:32.23 for Exarion, so
that's about 15 seconds.
Yeah, fair enough.
But with an optional. He surfed into a swimmer.
Yeah, that's the part where I cannot swim. I basically just ran into her. To be fair, she is a spinner, so it's kind of lucky, but like, there's no excuse.
I mean, considering you spend the entire run doing very difficult map bite movement, it's kind of a kick in the teeth.
Yeah. Like, honestly, when you make such a mistake, you kind of have to just shake it off and be like, okay, it's fine. I'll have another run. And that's basically it. Talking about this run that we're seeing on screen right now, yes, the main execution mistake was probably this one, the fall on Skypillar, but I think there was a much, much bigger mistake if we go to the Tail and Liza fight that I didn't get punished on, but I actually made a really big blunder by switching into Cast Form or Abra first instead of Tailo. By doing that, my odds of winning the fight are actually unlikely. Sliver of amount. But yeah, it was a really big mistake, and I was like, did I just do this on stream? But I didn't get punished because I got my caster after reviving got Ancient Powered instead of Psychic. Had I gotten Psychic, that Rumble would be dead.
Wow.
So it's a really big mistake. But, I mean, again, shake it off, like, whatever.
You take those.
Yeah, I mean, I always get punished for these kind of mistakes, and I'm kind of whining right now. Shit, right here, I switch into Abra, you have to switch into Tailo. And just realizing, did I just do this? Because that is a really dumb mistake, but, I mean, it happened. I honestly came up with a backup that's not very great, but it worked out, so whatever.
Seems like it was kind of a risky backup as well, so...
It's the best one you have. Like, it's such a big mistake that you kind of have to just take it. Yeah, other than that, honestly, the run was very solid. The early game was surprisingly bad. I mean, 17:52. Roxanne, I think it was. That's actually pretty underwhelming for this being a 2:30, which is considered a good time. But yeah, like, the late game was very good. Actually, this strat, if it works out, it's actually faster. But yeah, you don't want to do that.
What are you saying? It was calculated.
Let's go with that. Yeah, it was actually really close to 229, but I got trolled in the Elite Four.
What I was always impressed with, especially when I watched back, because I watched back your 232, Watched a lot of like the late game, especially. You were just really calm about it, and like it really shows how long and how much work you've put into this run, because everybody in the chat was going nuts because it was like, yes, world record pace, Shiru's gonna do it, and you were just like, it's all right.
I was actually not happy with that run. Like the fact it's a world record or not is honestly just like it's just symbolic if you think about it. Because yes, it's the best run in the world, kind of a big deal, right? If you put it in that perspective, but it's actually just a run, and if you're not happy with it, why? I mean, I was happy because I PB'd, and that's very important in a speedrun. You know, like billing your time is kind of the whole purpose. And it being the best time in the world, again, kind of a big deal. But I was not really happy with that run, so I just like, I'm pretty sure the day after that one, I just went into the grind again. And at that point, I was honestly, let's just be really calm about this. I've got the tools, I've got the practice on me, so I'm just going to get it eventually. It happened very fast. It happened 11 days after, I think.
Yeah, well, twice in 2 records in 1 month.
Yeah.
I don't think Emerald's been this busy in years.
Good point.
R.I.P.
I mean...
So how much practice did you put into the end game to like make sure that you were that calm going through all the Rayquaza sections?
Actually, if I have to be honest, I don't practice the late game that much. I do practice though the mid game a lot because I just have this theory, not really theory, but just this thought that if you do the Maxi 1 split well, you will actually be confident enough to just go through the whole thing and actually do fine, despite not really having that much practice on it. I do practice though, like Sky Pillar, despite falling. I actually haven't fallen there in months. Good time to do it, right?
Did you practice surfing?
Yeah, surfing. I actually didn't practice that for a while, and somehow you have to goddamn practice surfing. I'll be cursed with that. But yeah, what I really practice though is Maxi 1 is like the main priority. Because again, if you feel confident, just go ahead. And then what I practice the most after Maxi 1 is the Mount Pyre split, which is a split that not many people have, and that's fair enough because it's a really short split and such. But it's mainly execution, with the hardest run to bike in the game if you do it the way I do it.
That's the one with you've got to pass about 4 or 5 spinners, and you've got the long ass menu, haven't you?
What they consider the hardest one is actually the one after Steven talks to you, like with the Kecleon stuff and such. It's really hard, not because of the execution, that too, but you have to wait for a long time. You have to go through a lot of text boxes and such, and keeping calm is actually really hard because you're just thinking about it. You're just thinking, Steven, shut up! I really want to get this done and not mess it up.
That's the bird keeper just after
the
bridge.
Bird keeper with Natu and Wingle, I think. But yeah, you can do it like slowish, do it safe, just hop down the bike on the bridge and just go on about it. But I like to do it fast. I think that's the whole point of Emerald. Just doing things cool, right? I actually almost died in this part of the run. We're watching the True Double fight right now, and that bite, had it been on Swampert, I would be dead.
Yes.
True Double is
scary. True Double really is a big deal. Like, nothing should go wrong, but it's just so hard to... I don't know, it's really weird.
You do heal. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you have to heal there because Scrub outspeeds you and you're guaranteed to get hit. And you do keep torrents, it's not a big deal. And Metang is guaranteed to finish Crobat off because good AI and always goes for the kill. He could Metal Clone, he could miss, but that's really unlikely. But yeah, like, other than that, this run is actually pretty well executed because the Sky Pillar fall, kind of a unfortunate mistake, but it's actually not that slow, which sounds funny, but I mean, you're not hitting an optional, you shouldn't be mad about it. Just please do focus on the Rayquaza because that part is what that settles the pace. Like, had I missed the Rayquaza manip, this will not be a 230, this will be a 231. That's way worse, right?
Where Exarion lamented all of Emerald's manips now. He was not a fan.
Yeah. I can see why. I don't really mind them. It's just, I know this will happen. Like, it's just the features of Pokemon speedrunning, just a bunch of manips. And unless you do classic speedruns, which will exist as well, but like the main category, as in any percent glitchless, will definitely have manips. So you kind of just accept it and roll with it.
Yeah, this is one of those runs where I was writing up the notes and I was thinking, not really that much to write, because it was one of those runs where you just kind of ticked every box. Everything went pretty well. Yeah,
it was really solid, actually. Other than that Tail and Liza mistake, which, I mean, if you don't know at the run, you don't even know this.
Well, because it didn't really cost you any time. It was just it's just something that was wrong.
Yeah, if anything, it was faster. But yeah, again, I want to do it.
Didn't accidentally walk on water. Good job.
He's called Walter?
No, water.
Walk on water glitch.
Oh, right. Oh, of course, I forgot about that. I wish there was a category like that called no glitches.
We all wish that glitch would actually be useful.
That would be amazing. You won't have to swim.
Would have been useful back before the bad pomegg glitch. Then Emerald any percent would have just been glitchless, but we also run on water.
Make it a major meme.
Speedrun.
Jesus.
Jesus speedrun, that's a good one. Yeah, this part of the run too, the how is this place called? Underwater cavern?
Seafloor cavern.
Seafloor, yeah, there you go.
You're the world record holder, you should know this.
I know, but I do not.
Setting. Is that a different?
Yeah.
Is that a different path through that puzzle?
I don't know.
It looked good. It looked better than what I used to do. That's what I'm worried about.
There are many ways you can approach these puzzles. There's many boulders one too before the main cave.
He's now just discovered time save. You have to go back to Emerald now.
I have to go. My PB's actually finally become outdated. You know, apart from the 3 years of changes since I got
it. Yeah,
still pretty modern.
Well, I, as a future Emerald speedrunner, and by future I mean probably latter half of the year, I'll study this video and lament how I can never be this good.
Well, thank you. Well, I don't think this is anything like... I don't know how this is gonna sound, but I think this is actually impressive. Because it's actually literally like getting a good pace and keeping it. And don't get me wrong, that's actually pretty hard.
I think the thing is that it won't seem like much to you now because you've known it's possible for a long time and just been working towards piecing it all together. But for an outsider that doesn't know everything you know and hasn't researched everything that you've researched and spent the time that you spent into it, it's a very impressive thing to watch because there's a lot of pieces of a big puzzle that you brought together into this one very nice run.
Yeah, it was honestly very nice. And I couldn't come up with any more time saves. I was thinking about +4 Norman instead of +3, but that doesn't really work out. The only time save I had in mind was a very minor improvement to the achievement app, where I will not get a 1 in 30 level 8 tail away thing, which I think the 232 gets, which is really dumb. Like, the shaman it has like 30 birds, or 30 to 40, I can't remember. And one of them is unfortunately level 8. Being level 8 means that it has 4 moves, so you have to override one of them to teach fly, and that makes you lose 7 seconds. That's about it.
Last thing just before we move on, I'm going to throw up what is now the Emerald leaderboard. I'm going to switch obsoleted shown just to show you who the main forces are in this game. Because the top 12 runs are Shiru and Exarion.
That's a sight.
It's busy.
Yeah.
interesting as well that you have this whole cluster between 236 and 233, and Exarion.
Yeah, I just went about with baby steps for a long time. But then, kind of 235. I did not remember how 235. Into 234, kind of. That run, by the way, failed the chain up, and I lost a minute to it.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was actually gonna be a record, I think, if I didn't. Well, I mean, at that time, which is like almost a year ago.
And then there's the infamous 4 seconds lost to Rayquaza.
Yeah, cutscene RNG cost me a world record.
Oh god, I remember being there for like the very end of that run.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Well, that's going back to 7 months ago, so that was one of the first podcasts that we covered that. 3 or 4.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So we've been waiting all this time, Shiru.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Every time we go past the Emerald leaderboards, it's like, oh, any day he's going to be on.
Well, today's the day. Long awaited.
This is the month.
Yeah.
Actually.
Thank you very much. It actually feels well to finally have it. Trust me, I've been grinding this game for about, I want to say 3 years.
You've been there for a while.
Yeah, and then the Shamanip took me a whole year to make.
We know you've been here for a while because we've had memes about you that have come and gone. Like,
yeah, good point.
Desert Candy. Was that you? That was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was me.
I mean, it's like, oh, that's a while ago, but Shiru's been in Emerald for a long ass time.
Yeah, not gonna lie. Now I'm doing yellow, so nothing interesting here.
That's
well. Hard work pays off in Emerald and Yellow. Lord knows in Yellow it pays.
153 when?
153. I think that's gonna be Pokeguys.
Yeah, ask Pokeguy for that one.
What is it with Emerald runners going to Yellow? I
don't know.
Is there a top 10 Emerald runner that hasn't run Yellow? Pulseeffects is probably the only one.
Crafted?
Oh yeah, Crafted has.
Crafted. Yeah. Really?
You need to sort yourself out, man. In the grand scheme of things, Crafted's barely run Emerald as well. He's got 2 PVs. They're just very good.
Yeah, agreed. Crafted is just a really good runner, and he could honestly go for record in this if he wanted to.
I love
thanks, man.
Love that. Like his original PV in this, like the 3 or 4 year old one was a one and done thing. He learnt the game. He got a PB. It was like 3rd place at the time, and he was like, "Yeah, bye." That was fun.
See you later.
Here's the thing with getting 3rd and then saying bye then in this game.
Yeah. Then he came back and he got like 2 PBs. Now he's in 3rd again. He's like, yeah, good, bye.
See you later.
Right. So from one Gen 3 game to another, I'm going to take a look at the Sapphire or a Exonaru.
Exonaru.
Scoa, do you have anything to talk about here as our resident Sapphire expert?
You've literally, again, highlighted the worst part of the run.
Yes, I have. Well, this is specifically because this is something that he's pointed out. Exarion's had big issues, as we've already mentioned, with doing manips.
Yeah, he just doesn't
like
I don't think I've ever seen him get one of these things first try on a run.
I've seen him do it in Emerald once, but he really does. I think he kind of views it as luck.
Yeah.
Which I can see to an extent.
It kind of is, because Game Boy Player and Nintendo DS do frames for Game Boy Advance games really, really weird. So even though it should be consistent, it isn't, and there's no like really good reason for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, before this run, he actually missed the Kyogre manip twice in a run.
God.
Really well executed. Like, actually impressive.
I feel like the being able to be that, you know, that kind of like frame perfect. It's not frame perfect, but it's timing based. Frame perfect is like a separate skill in itself. And I feel like Exarion is fantastic at a lot of Pokemon execution, but this is his big hold up. And obviously, there is that extent of getting a bit lucky with it. You know, it's got to line up quite nicely. You've got to be able to. You do need that little bit of luck, but I feel like Exarion does struggle with this to an extent as well. I feel like we're really shitting on it. And this is he's kind of crap at it.
I mean, like, manips are hard. Like, it's one frame manip in Gen 3 for pretty much everything. Like, there are windows that you can get, especially for, like, YOLO ball. But, like, overall, like, you have to sync up your timer with the reset, and that requires a lot of dexterity on its own, because you got to hit 5 buttons at once in order to do that. And then you have to time everything else exactly right in order to get the proper stats and the proper timing for the YOLO ball. Like, it's really, really difficult to hit.
Speaking of syncing up as well, I know Exarion's had issues with his computer not actually having a good clock. I'm wondering.
Yeah, he used to have a really crappy laptop.
He used to have, like, you'd be able to watch LiveSplit on his computer, and occasionally it would, like, correct itself. It would, because, like, LiveSplit has this thing where it will run. The timer it runs will run of its own accord for a while, and then every once in a while it will check with. I think it checks through an internet connection to see the offset with established timer that's running, and then correct its time based on that. Exarion's timer in his laptop was so bad you'd be able to see the LiveSplit jump by seconds, and it was correcting itself.
My goodness.
Obviously, really throws off minutes.
That's a god PC.
Weird as well. It's like, it's super. Well, from what I've heard, it's like super hardware based. Whether the clock in a computer runs well or not.
Yeah, if you've got any sort of, like, problem with your CPU, like, be it, like, just slightly overheated or not properly clocked, like, it can mess up the internal time for the computer, because Windows is expecting something completely different from what's actually happening.
Yeah, this beats Pokeguy's record, which I think when he got it, we were all like, wow, that's a fun. Guys come out of nowhere and destroyed this Gen 3 game.
Actually, yeah, Pokeguy's run, the time was good. But of course he was new to the game, and I was watching his run, I actually watched the whole thing, and I was like, it definitely feels like he's new to the game.
I think at the time though, it was such a massive drop on anything anybody else had done, because it was like Exarion had tried for sub 2 hours for a long time, and the game would just chat on him. Right?
Yeah,
so
I mean,
to Pokeguy to walk in with a skip the 159 entirely, it was like, wow. I think everybody kind of presumed that it was going to be a much this astounding run.
Yeah, to be fair, that is really
204 to sub 2 or something ridiculous. I think he went from a 204.
Yeah, he was like -4.
Yeah,
-5.
he saved 6 minutes on his PB in order to get the sub 2.
Yeah, like, on that regard, it's definitely impressive, and I should not take credit out of that. But yeah, I mean, basically the drop was so big too, because I'm pretty sure that was the first record with Kyogre Manep. Don't quote me on that though.
Pokeguy's was, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Right? Yeah, that takes quite a bit of time actually. If you get it first try, if you get it second try, it actually even south with Master Ball timing.
Yeah, well,
so it's not a big of a
actually
deal.
Lose time against his PB or against Pokeguy's run. Pokeguy missed the minute once then? Because I feel like that's...
No, Pokeguy got it first try.
Yeah, but Exarion still saved 11 seconds despite missing it.
Oh yeah. That might be execution or something, I don't know.
It's execution, yeah, that's why I was saying that he felt like he was new to the game. He played really well, don't get me wrong. Like, getting a 158 and saying you played badly, that honestly doesn't cope. That doesn't cope.
He was new to it because he was only running it for a month.
Not much time at all, no.
3 months. I think Sapphire is probably the best example of, like, you can be relatively new to it, but as long as you don't get absolutely shot on by the game, you can get like a 202.
Yeah,
and Pokeguy is like really good at Pokemon fundamentals too, like movements and execution of menus, that sort of thing. He's got the same sort of like overall skill set that Exarion had.
Got the patented Pokeguy mash as well.
Yes, indeed.
Everybody else is smashing it.
Yeah, that is actually relevant for Gen 3 as well. Like any Pokemon game, really, though it's most important in Gen 1 and 2. Meshing ability, that is. He's definitely good at that.
I can't tell if Exarion forgot to teach Waterfall or if that's where you normally teach.
He forgot.
Oh,
He forgot, yeah. He forgot.
I managed to find both of them. Let's go. Didn't even know about that.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake. What can you do?
Exarion sat somewhere going, it's like twitching.
Well,
someone's talking shit
this
about me.
this time does mean that with Exarion's 158.05, which means 157 is entirely possible with no messed up manips.
Absolutely. 156 is possible as well.
I was about to say, just skip it and go straight to 156.
Yeah, might as well.
Remember the days when the Mexarican base monkey 201 in-game time was considered too good to be feasible?
Do you remember 236 in Emerald too?
Yeah.
Was 236? Was that Starkrighter?
Well, Exarion got a 236 in Emerald, and that was considered to be really good. But we're talking about like 2 years ago.
No, I mean if you go back like 4 years ago, there was a whole controversy on PSR forums because people thought
Yeah, I remember the.
NBM's run
I remember
was faked.
Oh, I see.
It's still not on the leaderboards. Still gone.
Because it's almost certainly faked.
Yeah, it's totally.
Looking back on it, it's pretty.
He fucks up running
There
movement
was-
in the first 5 minutes of the run.
There was a lot of evidence against it.
Well, in the way there wasn't.
He's removed it off YouTube now. He's removed it.
So it was
really?
fake, or what's this?
Basically, this run was like untouchable for a
almost
long
certainly-
time, and people
Yeah.
were like, Sapphire runners started getting better and better and better. The times were getting better and better, but they were still miles away from this run that had been set offline
On emulator,
on emulator.
on Visual Boy Advance re-recording, which makes it easy to make a task.
And like
Yeah, I can see that.
and like people like G Hines and Spitfire like analyzed his run and pulled out lots and lots of points where it was like, this is exceedingly lucky, which fortunately is not a good argument for it. But it is the only argument that was really applicable for that run, because there was nothing. It was, for a cheated run, it was a really well done cheated run. It looked.
Yeah, there was this guy who got the record in Emerald too. Yeah, that was proved to be fake, I'm pretty sure.
Starkrightas was never proven either. His was just presumed fake because it was sus as hell. And he did it on VBARR as well.
But I mean, the thing about MBM is he'd done real runs for a while. Like he did a run at GDQ and stuff. But
he was an established runner in other games, and I think the tipping point for a lot of people was when they noticed that his yellow PB had a splice in it.
Oh.
Had a full-on 5-second drop.
Yeah.
And then it was like, that actually seems quite dodgy. Why is there just 5 seconds missing out of this run?
If you ever watched his stream, if you ever watched his streams, his movement was nowhere close to what it was in that Sapphire run. Like it was. Well, his movement was like basically perfect in that Sapphire run, and like.
Oh, I see.
It was oddly
if you watch his streams, there was nothing close to that.
And it was oddly incompatible within the run as well, because like his biking movement was flawless, like Crafted said, but there's a bit at the start of the run where he's just past Gatekeeper Calvin, or whatever he's called in Sapphire, and he just bonks into everything while he's running. He's taking extra steps in the grass, and it's just so at odds with itself because it's such a clean run otherwise.
Yeah, like if you make a mistake like those, you will probably complain out loud.
Like the first 10 minutes for any Pokemon run becomes so ingrained, it's so muscle memory. I could go back to Emerald right now and still do the movement at the start of the run. I haven't touched the game in 3 years.
Yeah, this guy doesn't have a Pelipper in this game. Well, you guys are lucky in Sapphire. He's got a Pelipper in Emerald and he uses Protect.
I really don't think you should be telling the Sapphire runners are lucky. Steady. You can't see it, but I'm doing that thing where I'm going, no, don't do that. Sko is just seething.
Tate and Liza.
Actually, before we keep going, I wanted to point out something that Exarion does in this run. It's kind of a bit back, but it's still in the victory road. Before going to the second to last floor, what he does is hop on the bike and hop down the bike right away. To go through these stairs.
I managed to find it.
You just got it right there.
Yeah.
Just a pure nail.
This is music manip, isn't it? Basically.
Yeah, music manip. You could call it like that. It's basically that reduces the audio lag by a lot. So the time it takes for the game to load the next section or the next floor in this case is reduced by almost a second.
So and the game's playing surf music when you're surfing, and then when the time between you hopping off of the surf and going to the ladder is tiny because they're one tile away. So the game tries to load the main victory road music as you come off, but then also wants to load music again once you go through the cave. So it spends the entire time loading the first lot of music, then goes, oh, you want another bit of music, loads that as well, and then loads the next room. By jumping on the bike, it instantly loads the biking music rather than giving you a fade in for the victory road music, which cuts out the load time.
There's a couple of instances of that in FireRed and Emerald as well.
Oh, round 2 for FireRed. That entire, is it the ice puzzle? One of the Sevi Islands, where Exarion's got a brilliant video where he saves about 10 seconds just by jumping on the bike before dropping down holes about 3 or 4 times. And it looks bizarre, but he does save so much time for it.
It's fun.
Shiru, we have a question from the chat. How does it feel to move on?
Feels good, man. Feels very good. Yeah, finally, I don't have the burden. It's not really a burden, but whatever. To just be I have to get a good time in Emerald because I want to prove that I'm actually good at this. But it wasn't really a burden.
You have.
Now, you finally get to lay claim to the 6th god of Emerald. I have unofficially named all of them. Right, so from Gen 3, we're going to take a look at the Let's Go leaderboards. Cover obviously more new records. However, first thing we're going to talk about is the leaderboard change, because we go back to last month. This game had an any percent category. Then it had 1 player 2 controllers and 2 player 2 controllers, and they've all changed. Gone from 1 any percent category to 1 for each version of the game. The people running the Pikachu game now get their own. This is by decision of, by a community-wide decision. A lot of Let's Go runners came to the Discord to explain that they thought that this was a far better option, that get a Pikachu run significantly different enough to warrant its own category.
Yeah,
I guess from the times it probably does, because we're still looking at the 314s towards the top end of this leaderboard. Eevee runs, as we can see in a minute, Eddaket's dropped that down to a 307. Now that might be a level of optimization. People knew that Eevee was the faster one, so that was the one people were running on for a while. But... yeah,
if I were to guess, I don't speedrun this game, but if I were to guess, combination of both.
Yeah.
But optimization really sounds like it's the main one. I am really happy though this change happened. I was honestly at first when I heard about it, I was like, this is really bizarre. Why would we do this? But then I was like, I don't run this game. How will I know?
I was exactly, because the first thing it drew me to was I was part of an age-old discussion of should we split Ruby and Sapphire into 2 different ones, and I tried that out. I tried out Ruby for a bit and was like, no, definitely not. Absolutely not.
It was the worst.
So I looked at this and I was like, people think this is, from an outside perspective, I was like, I reckon people think this is a good idea and it actually won't be. But it's all about what the community wants, and the majority of the community wanted this. And there definitely seems to be a lot more difference between these runs. If you're looking at a 7-minute difference for the top runs, obviously.
Yeah. It's not just like that. That was a big reason, but when the key difference between Eevee and Pikachu is you're forced to pick the starter. you're forced to get Eevee, you're forced to get Pikachu in their respective versions. Unlike in Ruby Sapphire and most of the other games in Pokemon where you get to choose a starter, and most of the time it's the exact same route between them. You have differences with Eevee and Pikachu because you are forced to pick one side or the other. And it also prevents people from who want to enjoy speedrunning their version of the game to like feel excluded because they don't have the fastest version. This way, both versions of the game have their own credible leaderboard that they can compete and compare to. That being said, Eddaket is completely ridiculous in Let's Go X.
But it's been quite a journey for Eddaket. He was like the original, one of the original record holders, and he kind of faded out towards, top 5, top 10 last month. And if I do the similar thing we did to the Emerald, if I show obsolete runs, we can see he's kind of gone ham again. Because of the top 10 runs, it is a half of them.
And he got all 5 of those ones in the top in the last month.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
where's his next lowest one?
Oh god, quite a while down. Between 7th and 8th. 315.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it now.
And that's a month ago. And a month ago, talking about Let's Go is actually quite a lot of time.
Well, it's a third of the game's lifetime.
Exactly, yeah.
I do want to give a quick little shout out to Paul Snorms, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. He gets a 2-second off-world record 5 days after Eddaket got the 308.
Yeah, WordTab is mentioning in chat that we should also point out the new ruling for two controllers as well.
Yeah, we are getting there. So what was 1 player, 2 controllers, which was using the the secondary trainer to help you out on if you're doing a run on your own, whatnot, blah blah blah, has now been merged into any percent. So you're now in an any percent run allowed to use the second controller, which I really like. I love that that's how they've gone with that rather than having it as a separate category, because it was kind of a dead category in the first place.
Yeah, it was a kind of a meme one.
Yeah, like Retro had the record in it just because nobody else had spent any more time in it, basically. But it was
the argument was
that any percent didn't let you do. Any percent was restricted to 1 controller, which effectively didn't make it any percent.
Yeah, and it's like one of the records that was quote gotten was Eddaket at the end of an any percent run, just pulling out the second controller in order to save his run and getting any percent 2 controller record, and then it was just like, yeah, this is not working. So
a bit dumb, right?
You can just I'm just gonna miss PBing in 1 controller. Let me just flick another character in second
and be in record phase for absolutely no reason.
Ta-da!
World record, guys.
So, if what is effectively single player co-op is now part of any percent, and 2-player co-op is now any percent co-op, with 2 different versions of the game again.
With Retro being on half of the board.
Yeah. Everybody else should get some friends. Like, sorry. Please. Go out and make some friends. Take a controller with you.
Not happening. No friends allowed.
Retro is not the only person. Retro is not the only person that can have friends.
He has friends. That's actually impressive.
Crafted, do you have a copy of this game?
Yes.
Will you bring it to
well, do you have friends?
Hold on, quick cable. We'll just take a free record.
Is that RoboSparker and RetroTato run their ESA run?
I would imagine.
I have no.
It was, yes, because they were discussing it in the leaderboard mod channel because the timing was slightly off because they had to take a pause in the run.
Oh wow!
Speaking of which, RoboSparkle and RetroTails, RetroTails, RoboSparkle and RetroTato's ESA run. There it is. That's a really nice layout, especially considering the awkwardness of the game size.
Quite clean.
Save the children. Oh, I cannot read that.
On the left-hand side, it's Ragunj That's his name. Dragontreg, and I don't know.
Wartab.
Is that
Oh,
the
Wartab.
TCG guy?
Oh, we can take a look at what they look like. There you go. Look at them. We already knew what
I've
retro
never
looked
seen
like.
their faces before.
Oh,
This is new
I've
to
seen
me.
I've seen
Nice haircut.
Robosparkle and Retrotato. I haven't
Just
seen
seen
Dragontreg and
Retro.
Wartab though.
I've not seen Wartab before. Hi, Wartab. And Robosparkle's got that dapper-looking jacket.
Ty Kevin's been replaced.
Yeah, sorry, Ty.
Wartab, you look really pretty.
Starfield made a good point earlier in the chat. People assume that at the start of the game that 2 controllers would be overpowered because like you're 2v1 bullying all your opponents. Obviously this is overpowered, but it turns out that it's slower because of extra animations and extra turns. So
You have,
Yeah,
to,
it's
you have to
just-
sit there and watch your other character spin in like a reversed escape rope.
It's just the good old, really easy argument to not route it. But if you route it, it's actually obviously faster. We can clearly see
Don't
from
think-
Eddaket.
I think it is. The 2 controllers. Oh, is Eddaket using 2 controllers?
Eddaket uses 2 controllers in a couple of different fights.
Because I know it had
not
it
all
helps
of
out
them.
on like Agatha.
He
doesn't
mostly uses it for catching Pokemon because the key thing that you get with the second controller is a catch boost and an experience boost. So if you catch an extra large Pokemon in Viridian Forest with 2 controllers, you get like a ridiculous amount of the XP for the area that you're in.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb actually.
I was also completely wrong. He doesn't do 2 controllers on Agatha.
Oh, because
know
last
what-
time he did that, he died, I'm pretty sure, so...
Does he not just them for like fucking champion or something? Man, I'm probably just wild guessing here.
I don't know. I know nothing about this run.
No,
Me
very
neither.
little.
That's
Oh,
why I'm
man.
27th XD.
Yeah, and shout outs to Eddaket because he's put a lot of time into this game and it pays off. Speaking of shout outs, I actually forgot to shout a couple of people out on the Emerald thing.
Go on, man.
If I'm okay, thank you. First and foremost, Alba Hologaze, because she was actually the one who first mentioned the request and it being a possibility. She doesn't even speedrun the game, not needed. She was like, "Yeah, why not do this?" And we actually looked into it from there, and it turns out it's obviously faster. Yes, and then Goddess Maria, because of the the hop up and down the bike, lag save whatever. She does that in the task, and I just was watching it because I like to watch tasks. In case we can apply that stuff into glitchless.
Maria's a god for Emerald Tassie.
I agree.
She is a really good tasser.
She really is, yeah. And that's it.
Yeah. Don't know what else to say about it, because from this man, if you've been following him on Twitter, this has been a journey.
Definitely. Yes.
This man has had some mad Twitter posts about how this game is shat on him, so it's great to see him back at the top.
Might seem like a short journey because this game is so young still, but it's been from start to finish, really.
We'll talk about how the game dumps on people much later in this podcast.
Eddaket said, I've seen from his Twitter that he's chasing the 305 now.
I definitely think 305 is gonna come sooner rather than later, considering the people that are put.
Good luck to him.
Yeah, no kidding.
I feel
I
like
still need to go and improve my time. So
that's going to be the point where that'll be the first good run with, like not first good run, but first like really decent, given the strats that we've got, and they'll have to look for newer strats past that point. I feel like that will have started to stretch the limit of the strats that they're using at the moment.
Yep.
We're gonna go back to Gen 3 again, and I am absolutely gonna pass this info, pass this one over to JP, because FireRed LeafGreen has Well, it doesn't have
It's
perfect manip.
It essentially is theoretical perfect starter manipulation, and I say theoretical because we still don't know the key point of like a consistent timer 1 for generating a seed. But essentially, Aldilaro, who is most famous for Pokemon speedrunning for the Pokemon XD and Pokemon Coliseum starter manip there and coming up with that, he, pulseeffects, generic magnet scientists, and a little bit of help from me. He lists me there, but I did a little bit. They theorized a basically 2 frame perfect manip task. two frame perfect manip starter manip. Essentially, you have to sit through the whole intro cutscene and then time your A presses to be exactly the same. And you can get a consistent seed every single time in order to get the same Squirtle every time, which right now is not possible with the knowledge that we have. This sort of manip means that in the future it is entirely possible to get something like hidden power manip and pickup manip, because normally in FireRed LeafGreen you can't get hidden power except by a Meowth with pickup. So theoretically with this could happen. The only problem with this being a good strat is that it takes like a minute to get through the intro cutscene, and unless you were to somehow time a third exactly frame perfect input, there's no other real easy way to do it.
And there's also the difficulty of there's no real way of searching for a god Wurtle right now without doing each one manually. Be silly.
Yeah, the big problem is none of the emulators for Game Boy Advance that are out right now are entirely cycle accurate. So while he was able to prove by a couple of different methods that it was possible, we can't use an emulator in order to figure out the exact seeds because they don't exactly match up with console. They don't exactly match up with Game Boy Player, nor do they exactly match up with Nintendo DS, which, like, we discovered that Nintendo DS actually runs slower than Game Boy Player, which is interesting, but I was able to prove that. But
yeah, I think Crafted pointed this out, right?
Crafted literally taking a disadvantage by running Emerald on DS.
He will have the record right now.
Yeah.
Me
it
and
actually saves 5 minutes.
Shiru literally sweating.
Me and pulseeffects are currently running FireRed LeafGreen any percent on DS, and I also kind of wonder how much that ends up changing how fast we're able to go versus console. But I also haven't tested versus console. I only saw this difference by comparing an actual Game Boy Advance SP to the Nintendo DS.
I saw it when I compared my run to Amoeba's. Like, he made up time in the credits from my run.
Crafted was actually ahead of me in one of our PBs in one of Crafted's PBs where he tied my old ass PB at the time. He beats me to Hall of Fame. No, what is it?
Well, no, we're tied.
We're tied at Hall of Fame, but I get to the end first.
Yeah.
That's unique.
There's no inputs between those two sections at all. Well, I win, haha. If it was JPN timing, I would be faster.
Yep.
Then he beat that time anyway. Good cry.
But yeah, so like the next steps are to use deterministic and cheaty flashcards in order to try and figure out what seeds are able to work with certain Squirtles. So we have to like time out Squirtles and then backtrack to find seeds, which is really ridiculously difficult work without an emulator. And so that's where we are kind of stuck.
do want to, as a slight aside as well, shout out to the very nicely formatted. Very used to opening up a case bin and having to scroll through, but look at this. It's got a table of contents.
Aldolaro is like a great essay writer. Like, he's done a lot of work. He actually did a presentation, a college presentation on his Coliseum and XD RNG minute program, and apparently he got flying colors. So,
wow, nice.
This is in depth. I like that he's gone to the effort of explaining, you know, especially for people that like me that don't necessarily understand the inner workings of stuff, to start off with inner workings of the RNG for dummies.
So I've got a question about this FireRed manip possibility. What are the issues that there was with this, and what's really like manips in this game were kind of just rolled out because apparently the RNG can change, you know, in the Charizard screen.
That's why they have to sit through that entire cutscene. That's why this minute would cost a minute if they did end up doing it. It's because they don't progress past that cutscene. They watch the entirety of it.
Exactly. So, like, if you press any button before you get to the Charizard or Venusaur cutscene, the RNG, the essentially there's a register that just essentially reads in a random pattern, and it changes based on your inputs, like from boot up to the actual intro screen. Even though the particular register is not actually read until you're on that intro screen, you can't, like, if you look at the memory, you see that it's not even being used at all until the intro screen, but it's entirely different if you press a button early. Like, it's actually completely ridiculous how this RNG is compared to all the other RNGs in Gen 4 and Gen 5, where it's just like, well, I mean, we can switch to time-based. Obviously, time-based is better. Turns out FireRed LeafGreen has a pretty dang good RNG.
Interesting.
Yeah. Possible change. FireRed Leaf. If you can work past the kind of awful aspect of having to figure it all out manually.
Yeah, maybe we'll be able to figure out some sort of triple frame perfect manip so we can skip the cutscene and it'll actually be fine. But triple frame perfect sounds extremely
amazing.
Exarion's frothing at the mouth somewhere.
But yeah, good job to Aldolaro and Pulse and Generic Mad Scientists for going through and testing to make sure that this is
and JP's in
completely possible.
Cool guy.
I give most of the credit to them.
Please don't bully people. Thank you. Right, from there, we're going to revisit a game that we had a big special episode on last month. The Snap. Oh, well, it hasn't just had one. We'll get to that. This was a tournament match. So CC Neverenders tournament that we covered last month. This is one of the, I believe, round 1 match, possibly round 2. And it was CJ It's All Good versus Drogie. You can see from his side of the screen, he's not even playing because watching Drogie set a new world record.
Wow.
So the record before this was 47, I think. Because last month Drogie again got the record. It was beaten by Quo within the same month.
2045.
The Quo had a 2045, and then Drogie got a 24 in the middle of a tournament. And
that's epic. Can you imagine getting a world record in a?
Yeah, that's him.
World record in a race, world record in the marathon. Like, those are the hype moments.
Yeah, the dream.
But we have a second case here. always the bridesmaid, never the bride. The Drogie's record got again by the new contender for Snap Run, LiamKings, nailed himself a 2040. If you remember from last month with Whoa, I think it was that we were discussing this with, he said that Snap is approaching the upper limits for the stats we have now. 2040 was his sort of goal time, or sub 20. That's the thing. So we've quite quickly jumped in the space of a month to nearly optimal. But the other slightly more for this is that LiamKings has been doing this game for 2 months. I think it is, maybe 3. He actually learnt this at last AGD. One of the 8 or 9 people that taught how to run by the Snap crew that went. Maybe they're all slightly regret. Probably them all.
His first run was on the 18th of January.
His first run was like a 21.
Mm-hmm.
He's jumped in real quick with a good time. Now he has the record, so CC Neverenders tournament's still ongoing. I think they're in or towards the end of round 2. But I don't think this is going to be the last we're going to see. We'll get when we get onto the leaderboard roundup in a bit. You'll see that Snap is again the busiest game this month for the PBs.
I didn't know Professor Oak was called Professor Oiki though, in Japanese. Yeah, that's actually shown in this run, which is why I pointed it out. Yeah, honestly, pretty interesting run to see competition on, and I always happy to see it. I don't know anything about this run though.
I've learned so much just from doing the podcast on this. I probably have a decent shot of learning how to run this game in general now.
You should.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, it's definitely a fun. It's the nice thing about it is it's short, like compared to most any percents, or even any percent glitchlesses, for a Pokemon game. It's about 25 minutes if you take your time and be safe. So.
And there's lots of like lag reduction. It is mostly in the Nintendo 64 version, which is an unusual concept. But unless you play Nintendo 64 games a lot, then I guess it's not. Boy, that was a console.
Yeah, N64 was a notoriously laggy console.
It was trying its best. This was high tech back in the day. Look at them polygons.
I wasn't born, sorry.
Rip. I've never actually played Snap. I was probably going to get some scorn from
Same, actually.
I haven't either.
Has anybody here played Snap? Crafted?
In this channel?
No.
I have never owned an N64, so
We are the least
That's
equipped
actually a
people
little
to be
bit sad,
talking about it.
even if I would own one, I don't think I will play Snap.
I had
Sorry.
a Nintendo 64, and yeah, I've never owned or played Snap Stadium or Stadium 2.
I still own my N64 from when I was a kid.
I've got my dad's because I never had my own 64. I have my own GameCube from when I was. I am slightly younger than you.
This is true.
I had a PS1.
I am an old man.
See, we were a Nintendo household through and through.
My first console was the Wii.
Need to get out.
Boy, you are young.
You need to
Banned.
leave.
I'm
Alaska.
only 15, leave me alone.
Yeah. So Snap's still doing big things. Definitely check out CC Neverenders tournament if you like Snap. I like Snap. I've been watching a few matches, and
I like Snap too.
the tournament style is very unique. I like what he's done. Right, from there, we're going to take a look at Gen 7, because it's finally getting some love again. Been a little while. This is the UltraSun Ultra Moon Japanese U3DS World Record by Ringo. default world record because nobody else has run a specific category. However, Ringo is a very good, well-established runner, so I'd expect this run to be of quite good quality, regardless of the fact that it's basically a free record.
So I heard, at least for ORAS, that Japanese is actually slower. Not ORAS, but X and Y. The Japanese is actually slower than English.
Slower
From
in
Gen 5
5
onwards.
Yeah.
How so?
The text is 2 frames per character in English, and it's 1 frame per character in Japanese.
Other way around.
Right?
No.
No, he was right.
He's
2
right.
frames per character.
How the
Japanese text is slower.
Yeah.
So
It takes 2 frames per character
We're
in
getting
Japanese.
hot. We're getting hot off the presses news from Wartab that Japanese is faster in Gen 7. We need to all do our research.
Hey, I don't play Gen 7.
No one plays Gen 7. I mean, what?
What guys? Wartab plays Gen 7. I'm doing the motion again. Blowing it. No, I knew the. Was it? I always ask this every time, but it's like from Gen 4 or Gen 5 that the text gets slower. I didn't realise that they reset that for Gen 7. Yeah, this
Also, I love how you highlighted the worst bit.
Yeah.
Where he's losing like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to happen.
Yeah. But yeah, it's nice to see, because Gen 7 hasn't had a PB for a couple of months. I mean, we are all horrifically unequipped to talk about this. We definitely need to get Wartab on at some point.
I have never.
It was probably good.
It's Ringo, so yeah, it probably was good.
Yeah, it's a fair assumption, but I've never played this game before.
I haven't. I played the first game of Gen 7 and now Gen 8's out on the Switch, so I'm never gonna play a Pokemon game again. Yay!
Feels bad.
That's just why you get a Switch, XD.
Why would you not get a Switch?
Because I don't have any money, XD. Fucking XD.
Just do a sellout monkey ball stream, you'll be fine.
Oh
Just,
yeah.
Like, get a job or something. I don't know.
What is this?
Jesus.
Just do a monkey ball sellout and just actually buy an apartment with all the money.
You know, I get like 3 viewers when I stream Monkey Ball, right?
But they are very wealthy.
It's not a lucrative career.
Bill Gates.
Look, you would have 4 if I could actually watch your monkey ball streams when I'm at work.
I'm there sometimes. I'm supportive.
Get a job. I have a job crafted.
I know, I wouldn't joke about
Obviously, it doesn't pay the Switch bill.
No, it does not. It does pay the bill to get my gutters replaced on my house because they're falling apart. And I have to do adult stuff like get an MOT.
That's slightly more
Sit
important.
I can't sit here and, I had to get contents insurance the other day. It's a weird jump playing Monkey Ball and then having to do adult stuff. I don't want to do this anymore. Anyway.
This is why I'm glad I'm a kid.
Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, he won't be for long.
This is why I'm glad I'm a kid and the 4 adults just die a little bit inside.
I'm not an adult.
Are you not?
No, he's not. He's mentally not an adult.
Well,
I'm in the gray zone. I'm 23. Is this adult?
That's like you've been an adult for 5 years. Sorry to break it
That's
to you.
all
Like,
Crap.
sorry to do you like that, but yeah, you've been an adult for a while.
Are you?
I'm only 2 years older than you.
I don't want a job. I want a Switch.
I don't want to
Well,
go
you
to
can't
work.
get
I
one
want
without
to
having the
speedrun.
other.
Yeah, just make money speedrunning. That's like the dream. That's the whole goal in this world.
I'd love to make money speedrunning, but remove the streaming part. Somebody just pay me every time I get a PB, please.
Only if it's Pokemon.
Just start getting any percent no manip classic world records.
That's what I say, yeah, I could
You'll
make,
get paid.
I could about to say I could make some dollar if I get I just get 1 second world records in classic 15 times over. Easy.
You'll make a bunch of money.
You pay me every time I reset.
You would make a bunch of money.
I just pay all the FireRed LeafGreen owners that. Just like $1 every time. We'll make so much bank.
Yeah, Gunnar has like 500 resets at FireRed, and he hasn't finished the run yet. And like 400 of them are like Squirtles.
Wow.
How? You
still
manip Squirtle in that game. It's just a different kind of manip.
It's almost the same though. It's just almost the same as checking stats. Because you go for...
I disagree. Having run Emerald with that kind of manip and FireRed LeafGreen, I really disagree. It's far nicer. Not because whenever you get the stats, it's about the same odds for sure, but I'd say it's probably slightly better. But then when you actually get the manipped one, they're so much nicer. You don't have to kind of go, oh, I might risk this, or we might try this. You might waste if you're just going for stats, you might waste half an hour on an okay set of stats that turn out to be a bit shit, which you're never going to get when you're manipping them.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I don't know. This is FireRed is just weird.
FireRed's great if you run the right starter.
FireRed's great if you run the right category, which is Elite Four round 2.
It's also true.
E4 round 2 with Bulbasaur.
Run Rattata.
Anyway. Gen 7 getting more love this month. Because pulseeffects gets... Now this is the UltraSun Ultramoon English Original 3DS World Record. And it's not a free world record. This category actually had some runs in it beforehand, but pulseeffects gets the first sub-tick.
Nice. Congrats to him.
Yeah. And why is Holucha so overpowered? Why is this like a main Pokemon in two different...
So Holucha, you actually trade for Holucha. All of its stats are random except for its nature and its attack stat. Its attack stat is always 31 IV, and it's always Brave Nature.
That's hella gross.
Yes, it's extremely gross. So it's just a really, really good physical sweeper.
They just gave you this game for free. No need to grind for stats, no nothing.
To be fair, isn't...
You still have to get a decent starter. Like, you can't have a bad Poplio. But you can take most Poplios because you don't go very far with.
Yeah.
And then you do have to end up resetting over Holucha speed if it's too terrible. But as you can see with Pulse's run here, even though it has like great IV speed, it's like terrible for literally every other stat except HP actually. But yeah, just because it's a physical sweeper. It's a physical sweeper, not a special attack sweeper, so you don't have to worry about special attack at all. Mm-hmm. Can't this be adamant instead of brave? Why does it have to be brave?
Yeah, it's pretty troll actually.
Yeah. Congrats to both. Both seemed very happy with this run.
I bet he is. He looks happy.
He always sets his special attack IV to 0 because he doesn't care about it. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Again, still proves my point. Special attack does not matter.
Maybe he always just gets it at 0.
That's it. He resets if it's not 0. It matters that little.
Precisely.
From Gen 7, we're going to go all the way back to a Gen 1 side game. I'm actually going to open up board here, as you can see.
Oh, holy crap, that's a good time, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we're going to explain this.
Yes.
I'm opening up the leaderboard because since I wrote these notes yesterday, Callum's actually beaten one. But last month, we covered how this was a brand new set of leaderboards for Pokemon Pinball, and how there was a new record in 1 by 8 Echo in Bluefield, I think, of 1436. And that name, had a 1443 in Redfield. So the absolute legend Callum Lad has come along and destroyed this game. Literally got half the time of the existing records.
If you don't know Callum, he's like one of the best speedrunners out there, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. If he takes a liking to a game and decides to go for it, he'll just destroy it. Every speed game he's touched, he's ripped apart. He's the Super Monkey Ball 1 runner. Nobody has come close to any of his times in that game. He's from
Oh my goodness.
Super Mario Land 1. God, I mean, you could say just random bloody.
Yeah, I'm taking a look
games
at
now,
his
anyway.
speedrun.com profile. He's
Yeah, Pokeguy's
he's
putting out.
pretty good.
He was an
Pretty good.
He was an ex-Red Blue NSC world record holder back on an older route. He's come into Monkey Ball 2 recently, which is scaring the hell out of me. He was the record holder for Old School RuneScape Tutorial Island. Karururin is a great game, and he's destroyed that. Dryer.
He had Mega Man 2 as well, which isn't on speedrun.com.
How many records does this man have?
He will just destroy anything. Pokemon trading card game. He had that record years ago.
I guarantee if he comes back to that, the TCG Discord is going to blow up.
But yeah, so Callum has just ruined
what stupid
this.
broken thing did he find in this game?
Correct. So I'm going to try and skip to it here. This is the new record he set recently, so I will have to kind of search for it. So if you know anything about pinball games, it's a pretty similar concept to the other one where you have to catch and evolve Pokemon until you unlock bonuses. The important thing to note here, so he's just evolved another Pokemon and he's unlocked a bonus. We had the slots open beforehand. So he activated the slots and then the bonus activates because he's got a caught and evolved Pokemon. So the game, the slot hole that you go into is the same spot for both. So the game overwrites the slot hole with the bonus hole for the time being. So he'll now beat this bonus that he's in at some point. And then watch what happens when he comes out of the bonus. I presume he has to have done it in the way for it to happen. Yeah, normally,
epic.
Normally you'd have to beat the bonus and then catch and evolve another set of Pokemon to unlock the next bonus. I believe in Pinball 1, they only have to do 3 sets of bonuses, whereas in the other pinball game it's 5. Yeah, so he comes out of this bonus stage here, and then instantly jumps back in because the slot hole's now open, because the game knows that you've opened up slots and wants to put you in there. And for whatever reason, it then sends you back to the next bonus stage, rather than giving you slots. So you skip an entire cycle of having to catch and evolve Pokemon.
That's ridiculous.
So Callum,
That is really good.
So Callum found this and has just ripped the records apart. Yeah. There's not much else to say here. RIP anybody that was running this game. I know he's made a comment about this run saying it wasn't that good. I think, judging from what I'm seeing here, it's the bonus stages he's having issues with. Because you gain multipliers based on how many you hit in a row, and he missed a really good one there. No, I think well, I don't know actually. Maybe he did find it by accident. I wouldn't put it past him to have thought about it though. As you can see, he's running on emulator as well. That's why we've got a nice shot of the keyboard. Excuse me, the keyboard.
Nice keyboard.
Good hand cam.
Not in black and white. He normally does that. Aesthetic is ruined. Kappa. Yeah, so that's
no. He's not doing it in black and white because his keyboard is the color of the field he's doing.
Ah, oh,
so this is the blue record. I'm gonna bet if you look at the red record, his keyboard will be RGB red. Wow, blue. I am highly disappointed, Callum. Reset your red record and set your LEDs to red.
Yeah, exactly.
What if the LEDs can't be red?
I need this. My OCD is killing me.
Keyboard.
Just invert the video color.
My keyboard only does blue. Wrecked.
You're buying a new keyboard.
I will send you my keyboard, set it to red, get the record, send me the keyboard back. Yeah, this is so. Just everything about this run is a real treat, especially compared to the existing runs, because this nutty tilt management. Original Pinball has the shoddiest set of physics. It's god awful. And Callum just makes it look free. Like Callum bad.
Callum bad.
Out.
You got told.
Yeah. I imagine we're going to possibly see an improvement on his blue field time. I remember watching the Redfield one when he got it, and it seemed very good to me. The worst part of it was the Evo catch, and it still wasn't bad.
So I'm assuming he actually just killed himself on purpose there to just have a nice shot at the wheel, right? Just by...
I believe so, yeah. That's a strat in Pinball RS, which is about the only thing I can do here is relate it to the other game I know. Yeah, sometimes it's easy to just drop out and reset the ball because you always get the same angle and speed when you drop in. So he's done it. Yeah, he's done it intentionally here as well. Because I imagine the experience.
Well.
Yep, purposeful according to Callum.
Yeah, he just confirmed it. It's pretty interesting.
Pinball's always one of those things where I've been like really interested in it, but I've never like really put the time into learning any pinball. Like it's just like, oh, this is a cool casual thing to have fun with, but yeah, I'm not one of those like super pinball masters.
I love that. I'll say it all the time, but I loved Ruby Sapphire Pinball.
I actually have a cartridge for that.
Take his records.
Do it.
Do it.
So this
well,
one, he's
at least get a
PV
so that he's happy every podcast.
How happy will Amoeba be if there was competition for Ruby Sapphire Pinball?
To be fair, there has been Doc Sprinkles has still got a tied world record on Sapphire Field with me. So there has been competition, just not as much as I'd like. Especially considering how comfy the game is to run.
There is actually a time for it now, isn't there? Like this month?
There is, yes, we have APB.
Do you never game over in this game or what?
Can you? Do you mean can he or does he never?
I don't know. He's died many times on purpose.
Oh yeah, you see at the bottom of the screen, there's like a blue bit and a red bit. The blue bit says saver. If that's on, then it just saves your ball. So if that's off and you fall out, that loses you a life. But then I think you've got 3 lives, and I know at least for Ruby Sapphire Pinball, it's even if you game over, not game over, even if you lose a life, it's quite a quick reset, so it normally doesn't matter.
Well, I'm actually impressed the Game Boy can actually run this stage. Look at all the wiggly things and all the...
I'm really impressed by the amount of tilt that Callum uses effectively, because that shit's not easy. The game has 3 different tilts you can use, left, right, and up, I presume, if it's the same as Ruby Sapphire. But this doesn't have a tilt, so like Ruby Sapphire has a tilt limit, so you can only tilt so much. Repeat. So there's the same glitch again. Drops back into the slots. But yeah,
surely this is a glitch, right?
It's not intentional. Yeah, you're supposed to do another round of catch and evolution to unlock that bonus stage. So that's definitely a glitch. Some combination of the slot hole appearing where the bonus stage used to. And that was the other thing as well. He's actually using the slots to try and get free catch and evolution. So he got a free catch mode and the free evolution out of the first 2 here. And you actually see in the last slots it has a go-to bonus he'll hit as well. It's not quite RNG. You can definitely time it, but it runs so fast that timing is impossible.
Oh my god, Kingar is scary.
He's a big lad. This is the oh lord he's coming of Pokemon games.
Holy, I will be scared as a kid. I actually own this game, but I never got to hear.
Shiru now has nightmares about Pokemon Pinball.
I'm not actually scared, but I could be if you guys were not with me.
Definitely. Yeah, that's the same set of... you can tilt. I mean, you can tilt as much as you want in Ruby Sapphire Pinball. It's just that there's a cooldown of like a handful of frames between each one. Whereas it seems like in this pinball that Callum can just press it as much. So yeah, this go-to bonus, that's it. Maybe Callum's figured out timing for it, but I know like the slots in Ruby Sapphire Pinball are basically random or very difficult to time because it spins so quickly. So right now it's essentially a crapshoot. It might be possible to time. I wouldn't be surprised if you could find something, but it'd be difficult. Oh, in before, if you just let it run, it will always stop on the bonus if you don't stop it at any point.
Before the IGT for the manip.
You get IGT zeroed in Pinball game.
That will be something else.
That'd be sad. Yeah.
Yes, that is the word.
So I like that pinball gets some more love. I'm hoping that people come to Sapphire from this. I know Callum won't. But
You just want people to run it.
yeah.
He's desperate.
Pinball's a fun, like, both of the pinball games are fun games. I think the collision and the physics in this one is janky as hell, so I can't quite enjoy it as much. Yeah.
When's our Switch pinball game?
Yeah.
That'll make him buy a Switch.
I'll buy I tell you what, if Nintendo releases a pinball game on Switch, I will give them all of my money.
What if it's a battle
Pokemon
royale?
Pinball. I was about to say that! Pokemon Pinball 99!
I can see it happening, honestly.
How the hell would that work? Would you all just be on the same field and it's the first person to 1,000,000 points?
Holy crap,
Yes.
that would be laggy.
Everybody start fucking spawn camping the ball multipliers at the top. Right, from here we're going to go take a look at the new Pokemon Black Japanese record. And I'm going to have to pull it up on the leaderboards again because I haven't done my job. And linked it. It's not there.
There's a slight problem with that.
Scoagogo has...
Is it
I'm
not
blaming you on
verified
this.
How is it my fault? I don't mod it.
You wrote the notes. You have a link to
Hold
his
on,
run,
I'll
please.
save you.
I'll
Hold
get
on.
it.
I literally didn't do my job.
7 years ago, though, all these these runs are just really old. Some of them.
A lot of the Japanese runners, a lot of the Japanese runs that are existing are quite old. There's an 11-year-old run somewhere. One of the Japanese leaderboards.
I thought you were about to say there's an 11-year-old runner, and I was about to say, oh, I'm no longer the youngest.
Alright,
Before
there
the
you go.
internet existed.
JP beat me to it.
God bless. Thank you very much, lad.
I've got the link to the actual run. He submitted it only today, so that's why it hasn't been verified yet.
Ah, okay.
That's great. But yeah, so this record, as you just saw from the leaderboard, was held by Mr. Scoagogo, now held by Buster Poke.
Sad face.
How was his run, Goa?
I only caught the end of it. It's kind of like what you said Shiru's run was earlier. It takes all the boxes. There's nothing majorly wrong with it, but obviously he loses time here and there. But he somehow loses 40 seconds on the Drayden split, and I cannot figure out for the life of me where it happens.
40 seconds.
Yeah,
That's a lot of time.
it's if you skip forward to where he's past the Drayden split, it's just 40 seconds gone, and I don't know where it happens. I flicked through and tried to find it.
To get something and have to go back for it?
Gonna have
He
to be
might
one
have
of the
forgot to repel or something, I don't know.
It's going to be one of those things where you'll have to just play it side by side with yours in order to see where the time off.
Probably.
I'll look at this now, and when he's gone to Relic Castle, he hasn't...
Oh, he fell down.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
That could be.
that would.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
falling down, okay. That
You just
answers
needed me to pull it up on the podcast, mate. You did it twice.
Wow.
that would be
Okay,
where the
well,
40 seconds
yep.
then.
I am
That's
a
40 seconds.
genius for finding the bad points and runs.
My god.
That's
I'm
still not
so
40
good.
seconds, though, is it?
That's 2 falls is probably 40, yeah.
Oh, I actually went careful on that one.
I mean, you would after falling twice.
I will end my life.
I mean, that was probably 30 seconds and he just lost a bit of time elsewhere. But
Yeah.
he just needed me in here. His skills have aided us. I am a genius. What can I say?
Yeah, that was 30 seconds, though, right? I guess he lost time somewhere else. So
Yeah, I mean, another 10 seconds here or there is not unusual.
that's a worse fall than my fall in Sky Pillar.
Yeah, I agree. That's
True.
that's a much larger hole to avoid.
That's true, yeah.
Every time my superpower is pointing out other people's mistakes. It's great.
Not just pointing them out, but finding them by clicking randomly on a progress bar.
But the thing is,
Not
he
only
also
did you
doesn't
make
run
a
the
mistake,
games.
but here's the fucking evidence of you making a mistake.
But Amoeba doesn't run the games, so people cannot accuse him of making the exact same mistake.
I've run black. What are you on about?
But have you made that exact mistake? And plus, you haven't run it in 10 months.
No, I don't think I've ever fallen down in here.
Ooh, right, okay.
I'm free.
No
I've
need to
never
flex.
fallen there either.
I did, lol. And I lost record whenever Sinstar still had it to it.
I've never played this game though.
Scoey, you should get good. TBH.
I have it, but okay. Oh, sorry, it's not a 314, so it's basically bad.
Yeah, same for the 229 Emerald.
So,
Yeah.
So you're thinking this can get pushed down to a 319 pretty easily, or is it going to take a lot of grinding?
I think so. If like you think about the 318 a 314 in English, that's kind of like what a 318 would be in Japanese, I'd think. So like a 319 shouldn't be too difficult to get, but I mean, time will tell. See if Buster or myself gets it in the end. But I'm trying to get it, so.
Not allowed back on the podcast if you don't have it next month.
I mean, I intend to sit and run it all month to get it back, so.
I may run black at some point if I
Please. Kick amoeba out of the top 10.
I'm already out of the top 10.
Wait, what?
Someone, PokeGuy's got a faster run than me, just hasn't uploaded it. So I'm effectively 11th.
So it doesn't count, got it.
No, it doesn't count. The leaderboards
probably
don't
cheated,
mean
though.
anything. It's PokeGuy, yeah, so definitely cheat. He cheats with his
Yeah, I've got an
superior
unrecorded
mash.
314, so
Damn.
I'm first.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
fresh off the press news, new Pokemon Black World record. Crafted, 314. Congrats.
Yeah, congrats. You're just in time for the podcast.
But you want
Yeah.
to talk about hand pain? Play Black on a 3DS. When you're 6'5" and built like a brick shit house, that's hand pain. I hated running this
Hold on.
game.
I have a really
Shit house?
horrible habit. Like, I used to be able to mash fine in black, but ever since I started running games with L=A, I've noticed I have a really bad habit because like I'll use my thumb of my right hand for A and like my index finger of my left hand for B. That's how I mash, and I have a really bad habit of tensing my right hand whenever I mash, so it causes like a lot of pain. And this is like 15 minutes into the run, and my hand is already sore.
See, I stuck my thumb between the A and B button and rocked left to right, so I caught each button on each side of the rock.
I also do that. It causes less hand pain, but it's not as fast. So
The superior way to do it is put it on the desk and then use your index finger overhand to do the same thing, except it hurts like a bastard.
I think that's what PokeGuy does.
That's what he
And
does.
that's why he said he's
That's
not
what
playing
I'm gonna
black.
get used to that if I play DS games, because I'm not about to hold my DS, that fat thing.
Whoa.
Hey, my favourite console you're talking poop about.
Well, it's fat.
You're fat.
I am. Why do you have to point that out?
Why do you have to hurt me like that? Anyway, going from Gen 5 back to Gen 2?
Gen 2. Yeah.
So
Remember when I said that, like, we're going to talk about the game screwing people over
Oh,
time
yeah.
and time again?
So I've been watching this journey for about a month. Werster has been running Stadium 2 Gym Leader Castle Round 1 for a long time, and it has just ruined him.
I agree.
To say the least.
Genuine sorrow for the poor man, because this game has just raked him over the coals. It's awful, and he's finally got the run that I think he deserved a month ago. Like, it's taken so long, and yeah, so
Well deserved.
Very well deserved. Very well, like, he's spent so much time playing this game, and he's had so many runs on this sort of pace, just die to complete and utter bullshit, that it's good to see him finally get the run that he is happy with, but not extremely happy with, because I'm sure that he's had a run that was on better pace than this 206 that he has, but the way that this game has treated him, whoo boy.
the fight we're showing at the moment is the blue fight, because this is the most recently routed fight he's done. It has this really nice little manipped bit where he gets the Arcanine to dig against Diglett, and then earthquakes it. So that's a really common result of this fight. Although Stadium 2 is a weird one. For anybody that doesn't know how this run works, basically you take teams of rental Pokemon and you have to beat all the gym leaders. There's a Team Rocket section, an Elite Four section. I think he gets, is it 5 teams made up? Or 3 teams of rental Pokemon?
For rental Pokemon that you bring into round 1?
Yeah. I think it's 5.
I think it's 5.
Anyway,
I remember that Stadium 1 is 10.
Bloody hell.
Oh no, it is Stadium
10.
2. You get 10 preset teams. That's right. You get 10 preset teams, and then for Misty, you actually just build a team to start, and then that's technically an 11th team you take into Misty.
Yeah. So there's basically get rental Pokemon, because obviously if you brought in Pokemon traded from another game, it would be ridiculously free. And the rental Pokemon are all kind of balanced. The stronger, higher evolved Pokemon have crappier moves, and you'll get like, say, like you saw Diglett earlier, and there'll be a Dugtrio, but the Dugtrio will have like, I don't know, magnitude. Some other, it'll probably have like Scratch, but then the Diglett has Earthquake and Fissure. That's the kind of balance that the game uses.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of Pokemon he uses. There'll be like Coughing, Voltorb, Geodude,
Pineco too.
Pineco for Explosion. Basically, yeah, it's just a game of knowledge, because the enemy trainers have 6 Pokemon and they bring a random 3. Well, not necessarily random, they can be manipulated to bring certain ones based on the Pokemon you. But a lot of the time they will pick randomly, and you have to be able to react to what they've got. And a lot of the Pokemon have some absolute bollocks. Koga's Pokemon all have double team. Every one of them has double team.
Yeah.
So you just always have to kind of hit through double team at some point. So yeah, this game is just true match knowledge, basically. No other real execution than that, but it's how well you can adapt as well. I'm fairly sure in this fight he ends up with a one of the later fights brings out a team order that he's never seen before. Like, he has to just figure that out on the fly.
He's good at that.
Yeah, they have the Gaff's making a good point as well. They have all the fun items like Focus Band, Quick Claw, Bright Powder.
Karin, Quick Claw, Umbreon.
Yeah, there's lots. You'll see a lot of like Destiny Bond counter, Mirror Coat as well, because they bypass those items. So, you know, just because the other Pokemon has Focus Band on doesn't stop Destiny Bond from working. But that's effectively faster than actually hitting it twice. And as you can see, every turn takes a long ass time. Animations. I'm just going to play this clip because it's one of my favourite clips I've seen in a long time. I'm just going to throw the audio.
There have been so many. Well. There's so many amazing clips from his runs. This is one of the best.
This is right at the end of a world record pace run.
Fuck this game! You have. I will murder the entire species tonight. The entire species. This cannot be serious.
So, yeah.
How does he come up with those fucking lines?
Well, Australian rage, you know.
So that was
it's just so unique.
That was the last attack he had to survive to finally get a PB that he'd been chasing for months at that point.
I mean, it is fortunate that he got this run that is his current one, because that one would have been a 207 and this one's a 206, so this one's a better run. But still.
I think he'd have just been happy for anything at that point.
Yeah, like absolutely anything that just beats the record.
Yes. Congratulations.
There's also like, he actually changed the route for the Mystified as well. He used to lead with Pineco,
and
then use Bellossom.
Yeah, and it was. He'd eat crap if there was, like Poliwhirl. I think if it led Poliwhirl, wasn't good. Although I think that's still bad now. Yeah, he switched to lead Zapdos.
Yeah, Zapdos.
now it sucks if he finds Quagsire, because...
Which is interesting, it's basically the opposite.
I like, the favourite part of the run was when he got to, of every run he did, is when he gets to Falconer. We all get to watch Counting with Zapdos.
My favourite show.
Because he has to hit, like, just the most optimal way to play this fight with all the flying types is just use Thunder. Just 70%.
I think it's like 400 Thunders.
Optimally, it's 3 if brings the right team. It can, like, he actually got the worst possible team in this run, so if he'd missed the damage range on Togetic, it could have been 5. That's pretty garbage. But he hits all 4 that he needs in it. But the Noctowl always needs 2, and the Togetic sometimes does.
The best thing about Pokemon Stadium is that you can just speedrun it while laying down.
That's the Werster's webcam. Like,
yeah,
on any stream.
It's unique.
It's yeah.
He actually explained why he had it one day on stream.
Hey, can we have that explanation? I'd like to know.
Yeah.
He said that the FBI put him on a watch list for potential world leaders, and since he declined, he has to keep a webcam on so they can keep an eye on him.
Oh, understandable.
Okay, I was
I
expecting
will
to
see
say
that
this answer
happening,
house.
yeah.
Right, so we are now done with the records for now. We are going to go and cover some nice marathon runs, starting off with a reverse badge order by Pseudo Trainer that he ran at Midwest Speedrun. If you ever want to know what Pseudo Trainer looks like, there you go. Look at his reverse badge order, wacky category.
This looks fine.
This is fine.
With fires on the side.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're just going and you're fighting all the gym leaders in reverse order. I mean, what's weird about this? I mean, obviously he went to Viridian there.
A house to beget.
Yeah, 90. What the fuck is that HP value?
Yes.
Good game. Well made game.
I agree.
Have I mentioned before that I believe that Pokemon Red and Blue are made from duct tape? Like
made from hope and dreams.
Hope, dreams, and duct tape to hold it all together.
See, all I can see here are nightmares, though. No hope, no dreams.
That is the coolest looking shit, though. He just beat Surge, walked out, and then just walked back in, and it was Misty's gym.
Yep.
Like, done. Hello.
Is that not what happened when you played?
Oh, funnily enough, the game actually worked when I played.
That's a lie. That's
True.
a lie.
I thought the game worked. The game tricked me into thinking it was working.
Wow, devious.
The other one that I know of, because nobody else responded to my very nice message in PSR Discord about who's done marathon run. The other one for this month is Scoagogo's Sapphire run from Cloud. That one up. How was the run, Scoa?
I mean, it wasn't terrible. I've just broken your trend. I specifically went to the best part.
It's fine, I didn't highlight this, so this
Change
isn't
the
my
time.
superpower.
I literally just got that like 20 seconds ago.
I'll click somewhere randomly in a minute and we'll find the bad bit, don't worry.
No, that's like everything except for this fight then.
Easy then.
You can just skip back to the very start where I failed the Mudkip manip for about 10 minutes. But I mean, it wasn't terrible. It showcased the game well, I guess, which is like the most important thing. So,
how did you even win this fight?
With a lot of luck and crying.
This fight is ridiculous.
It's just so stupid. But I got, I think, the best TNL fight you can probably get.
Even with that right there?
Mainly because of this dive roll. It does not normally do that much.
Ah, I see.
like normally dive and surf it's not the greatest range. I don't know off the top of my head what it is, but especially because I skipped the desert candy as well.
Oh, you crit the soul rock.
It wouldn't have mattered. It would have killed anyway, unless I got like one like lowest roll.
That's a solid final ride.
Imagine missing Hypnos.
But Hypnosis miss, and then I get Lunatone as well. So, you know, first try as well. So.
Will he use Calm Mind there? If that Hypnosis hit?
Probably would have just gone straight for Psychics.
Yeah,
it might have just gone for 2 Psychics, or it would have Calm Minded and then Psychics.
I would suck there.
I don't know. I'm bad at Gen 3 AI, so.
You're below 70%, so it might just be Psychic.
It would favor attacking.
I guess you could actually, if it calm-minded, you heal to full, it hit you into Torrent, and then you could have killed it, probably.
Yeah, it just depends on the move, though. Sometimes it's 70%, sometimes it's 50%. And he was below 70, but not 50. So I will think he will go for Psychic there, because that rings the bell. But I am not sure.
And then, that's all we know of for marathon run done this month. We have an upcoming marathon, which is the Speedrunning Expo. That's March 13th. We have Mr. JP doing FireRed on 14th. I believe this is in... Yeah, so it's in my local time zone, so this is in GMT 0. And then following straight on, we have Roush doing Emerald. Early morning of... I'll probably miss Emerald, but I'll get to watch FireRed.
Yep, it should be really fun. We'll both be on the couch for each other's game, so
nice.
we'll be hanging out for like 6 hours.
WhatsApp has just pointed out that ESA did happen. I am an idiot. We did cover the Let's Go the Let's Go runs we covered when we were in Let's Go,
and it didn't even click whenever we saw that.
No, yeah, they were great. But yeah, with those TCG, ORAS, and Black and White, and Red. Was Red as well?
I'm pretty sure I also said I will add ESA in, and then I didn't. So
yeah, let's just blame Scout. We'll go.
Yeah,
for me.
Blame the kid.
Don't have any VODs ready for that, so
let's see.
Apologies.
Pokemon Red, DDR% glitchless, whatever that is.
There was a
that's right. It's on DDR pad.
It's glitchless, but yeah.
What the fuck is DDR?
Dance Revolution. The step mania except you have to stand up.
Yeah, it's a giant dance pad, and you use that as your controller on a Game Boy Play.
Let's get that up. Find a link.
Oh boy, this is my favorite.
No joke, I have actually seen someone play Soul Calibur 2 on DDR pad.
That sounds actually hard.
No. You just pick Nightmare and mash heavy. You never lose.
Yeah, the range in that is probably ridiculous, right?
It's extremely ridiculous.
WhatsApp has emmed me with fresh in SpeedCon 2019. I believe there's Pokemon runs in here somewhere. There's Pokken Tournament.
Ooh.
Why have we not got that on the
Pokken Tournament? Is that Pokemon or Tekken?
Yes.
Yes. He's not
That's
wrong.
the answer,
Yes. Yeah. So SL Weed and Wesserwurst? Wesserwurst? I don't know how to pronounce that. Doing any percent in Let's Go Eevee on the last day. Nice point to be doing.
Sunday morning.
This is the German one, isn't it? I'm judging it is because all the runners are German, so I'm fairly sure.
Yeah, I would say that you are very likely to be correct.
Fair guess. Berlin, there we go. Must be cool to be German.
I have included a link to the black race at ESI in the Discord.
Also, shoutouts. He's not doing a Pokemon run. The Epic Dude guy. Also
Probably,
at Speed
yeah.
Cup. I don't know what Red Cat Haunted Castle is, but oh,
Sounds amazing.
he does. Epic Dude guy does a bunch of random games. He's a big Persia runner.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is Retro Tato and Etienne's Black Ray.
I horrifically apologize to Retro.
Sorry, the game's just buffer the game. The Twitch is.
Oh, rip.
I have successfully, and specifically went to the place where Retro dies to Clay like 6 times in a row.
God.
6 times in a row.
Yeah. Which is
What
insane
happened?
because I haven't died to Clay in like months. So to see someone
Never
die
died
to
to
him.
Clay.
Alright, okay, Shiru.
Oh, War Tab with the link.
I got crit there. Is that bad? That
Yes.
looks bad.
If
Nah,
you
that's
get
good.
crit, you have to switch out and heal to full. Which he didn't do.
Excadrill is a tanky lad and a speedy boy.
And it's because of the
so
speed
just
that
use-
because he needs +1 and blaze or +1 attack.
Also, shoutouts to Retro Tato's N cosplay.
Kinda sorta in cosplay. The green hair and the cap. He's N.
I can't see green hair at all. All I can see is his hat.
He
And he's-
reveals it at the very end of the run. He takes off the hat, and plus, didn't you see it during the Let's Go run?
No.
Who's N? Oh, the Death Note?
Who's N? No.
What? I thought we were talking about
Wow.
N's the guy in Pokemon Black, Shiru. He's not from Death Note. Although N is also from Death Note.
No,
Oh yeah. Damn, that is some
that
green
we were
hair.
saying, yeah. And I was like, what? Not in front of the kid?
Oh my goodness.
No, there is Jimfrey. N there isn't Death Note has L, N and M in it. Near
Yeah.
and Melo
Near,
go by
Mellow.
M and N as well. You're uncultured, get bodied.
It's just anyways, this is worth going.
Oh, black. So, Dance Dance Revolution Red.
Eminem, we're talking about candies now.
Eminent. No, I clicked all the links. Bad. Go back.
Oh boy, Red.
Bad, maybe.
So
See, he's dancing.
Death Note ends. Garth, come on, man, it's a manga.
Oh,
you're
he's
watching
using
I didn't
that?
realize it was
Insta too.
ATN that did this.
My apologies, Jim Freak. Just ignore what we said. Yeah. I don't disagree.
Why did you?
though, Sean.
Oh,
Why
God.
did you call someone?
Wait, did he
uncultured when you
actually
haven't
do
watched it?
Did he actually do Manipless?
Can you imagine trying to do Manip with a DDR pad?
65 doesn't look right.
No, he obviously maniped Mount Moon with this.
Oh, he did the super easy Nido Manip. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one where you.
Can you really blame him? Like, what he's playing with this. Shout out to those socks as well.
Those are good
Oh,
socks.
hell yeah.
Those aren't
It
socks.
sucks.
That's not sexy.
If Callum's still here, he's like, yeah, take the socks off, please.
You got to keep the pad clean.
This is getting lewd already.
There are
NFC.
minors present.
There are minors present.
Oh, that was fun.
I was not disappointed. I'm impressed he did any kind of manip at all. I'm impressed that anybody can do anything with their feet. I can barely stand up.
Wait, how did you even hold B up and select with 2 feet?
Turns out
He
he's got a
gets down on his
secret
hands and
third foot.
knees. No, hands and knees.
I was
You
hoping,
play Twister.
I was hoping he had a
Holy-
third foot.
That must look hilarious.
What is with the capture quality on this particular run?
It's
Probably
amazing.
a bad
It's
channel.
doing its best.
That's underwhelming.
Nighttime.
Nighttime.
It's nighttime.
Oh
go to
right,
bed.
they set the in-game clock late.
Why are they clapping?
Clapping a Pidgey.
They're clapping to darkness.
Hello, darkness, old friend. I've not
Are they
seen
gonna clap at every encounter?
Genesis as a runner. NSC is a nice, comfy run for people to do. What was the
there were
last
lots
one?
of frame drops too.
Yeah. Let's skip over to TCG. This was
what can I say?
Ragan Track, I believe. I love TCG. God help you if you've never seen the game before, because it's just a lot of very fast menus.
Yeah, it's actually impressive how they do this.
I don't think the menus are fast enough.
Yeah, speedy boys. Yeah, so we'll let this run in the background, because the only other thing to talk about marathon-wise is that SGDQ submissions are now open. I think we can expect to see familiar names for GDQ runners, so I imagine we'd see Keezer on there. Expect a submission from Gunnar again? Maybe? Although
Shenanigans is the easiest one.
Yep.
I expect them to submit. There's currently 10 Pokemon runs submitted.
Oh wow.
Quo has submitted Pokemon Snap.
Hey, I want to see that.
All three categories. Pear Strike has submitted Pokemon Channel. We have Rubber Ducky with Pokemon Rumble.
Well, that would actually be really deserved if that gets in. RDA
Yes, I agree.
RDA's been putting work in. Okay.
A lot of work. Flagelstan with Pokemon Puzzle League. S Hard. So that's always a fun one to do because the Tetris games are always well received. Nerd Squared has submitted Diamond Any Percent. I assume English version, not Japanese. Sorry, Skoa. We've got
hot off the press
Pokemon
news. Pokeguy is going to be submitting Blue NSC, Crystal any percent, Yellow, and Diamond any percent.
Ooh,
That's a list.
FFR Pro has submitted Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, and so has Cards of the Heart. So they might actually, yeah, they've submitted it as a race. So those are the current visible runs. Me and pulseeffects are submitting FireRed, LeafGreen, Squirtle versus Charmander.
Ooh, that'd be good.
So
Shout
we're
out
hoping
to
that
the
we
last
can
PSR
get
marathon.
that in there.
Was that the last one, or was it the one before that had?
One before that, 2017.
That was good. So Jim Freak's going to be submitting Let's Go and Pearl. I feel like Let's Go's got a real good chance.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Let's Go is gonna get in.
Yeah, Let's Go
because
is fair, I guess.
Eddaket submitted Let's Go as well, and apparently he did a commentary focused run that got like a 312.
Ooh.
So
Oh yeah, I saw.
That's going to be a difficult one to beat, I think.
Grim is swelling.
I mean, reminder to anybody from GDQ staff that might be watching this podcast, you are allowed to accept more than one if you've got good submissions. It doesn't have to be just one. Shoutouts to ESA for taking like 5. And they were all good runs. Apart from maybe NSC, could have skipped NSC.
See, but Pokemon is not even a successful franchise, so why will they do that?
It's a bit of a niche.
I mean, only
community.
casuals like Pokemon. Why would casuals watch this?
It's not
just
really
normies.
a speedrun, is it? There's no execution, it's RNG.
Yeah. Also, if you're a normie, right?
But yeah, there's also one other submission that I want to point out that I can see here. There is a Pokemon Gold submission by DS Koopa, and it is not for a speedrun, but it is
Bingo?
Well, technically a speedrun of replacing the battery in a physical Pokemon Gold cartridge.
That gets in.
Okay.
Estimate is 1 minute.
I'd say that's not that difficult a thing to do, is it? You can
Talk
use
about a filler.
you can use the screwdriver and not stab yourself with it. It's pretty much done.
This is true, but a lot of people aren't confident on replacing batteries in games. So, like, I can understand why you would want to at least have like a video tutorial of doing it. Not so sure how you would do it as like a speed run. So that's interesting, especially because commentary becomes an issue.
It's an odd thing to
Oh, he's using the screwdriver. And he's screwdriving.
When are we going to get somebody submitting like Cinco Bingo? Because that's been like bingo runs have been really on the rise in marathons recently. Like Ocarina of Time Bingo was like really well received.
Crafted submit white 2 randomizer race.
Submit black randomizer race, the one that crashes. Be like the first 20 minutes.
Wonder Trade Race.
Wonder Trade Race would be a good one. You could tell everybody watching to start Wonder Trading random crap right when you're doing it. see if they can get like a GDQ named Pokemon as one of the ones they have to run. I think a Wonder Trade Race would work quite interesting. Anyway, the only other main point we've really got to talk about is the announcement of Pokemon Sword and Shield, which I do want to point out will be Switch games. I think, considering how popular Let's Go has been as a speedrun, Gen 8 might be a far more popular run recent gens. Possibly not.
It'll all depend on how well the early game resets are, because it's going to be different from Let's Go, because with Let's Go you always got a perfect starter. You just had to reset for nature. Mm-hmm. But with a traditional Pokemon game, you definitely would not get that. So I believe that in the future, I think we're going to find out a lot closer to the launch of the game how well this is going to look as a speedrun, but there's no way to tell. I know a lot of people were hyped for Gen 7 speedruns, and that, while some people do enjoy Gen 7 speedruns, and that's cool for them, it's not a very popular category for them.
Yeah, I think there are two main points for this, actually. If I had to guess why Gen 7 speedruns are not very popular, it's because capturing them is really hard.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's another major issue.
I think that's the main issue. And secondly, I think Gen 8 will be more popular if the speedrun is as lengthy as Pokemon Let's Go. Because what's very unique about Let's Go is that despite being a newer release, the speedrun is actually pretty short at 3 hours and say 15 minutes. Also, it's not very reset heavy if you don't really want it to be, which is a good point that you brought out. I'm pretty sure Gen 8 is going to be more reset heavy, but I mean, that's just a wild guess.
Imagine if they actually learn how to skip cutscenes. Imagine a world.
Amazing.
I like how in this very Europe heavy podcast that we're not mentioning that the game is set in a land based on the English,
because we haven't figured out whether it's going to be set in pre or post Brexit Gala.
Oh, that's fair.
Sure.
We also haven't decided if Northern Ireland is DLC or not.
That's where Battle Frontier will be. They'll have just like terraformed the entirety of Ireland. It will just be like, here's your post game con.
You know what? If Northern Ireland becomes the Battle Frontier, I will not be disappointed.
I love you.
When are we having a Pokemon game based on Catalonia?
Wait, you mean that's not Colosseum?
That's not Colosseum? I've never thought of that. And I'm kind of happy.
That pretty much covers it for Marathon Run and news in general. It means we come to my favourite part of every podcast. It's the lead. Close all these windows down. back to them. And we'll start off with red. Looking a little bit busier than last month, since last month had like 3. Third place, W Sotboy, picks up a 146. Didn't actually know he was back to running.
I didn't know that either.
I feel like there's been a lot in terms of like the Gen 1 concentration has all been on Let's Go. My mic's cutting out. I'm just going to shove it right down my throat. Hopefully that will help.
Yeah, do that. Do that.
Wave
I'm
Warrior.
down, Shiru.
Jesus. Wave Warrior is 5th. No, Wave Warrior is 8th, according to this. So maybe the mods need to get on with their job. String flow. String flow. Come on, go verify it at String flow. So yeah, 8th place for Wave Warrior. Apparently 5th, hot off the press news. His 8th place was only 7 days ago. Top 5 already. Wave Warrior's not been doing this for very long, I don't think.
No, he's pretty new. He's really good.
2 months ago. And this is his only speed game, so boy. Man is making waves.
His first run was at 151.
Faster than my PB.
Same.
23rd for I Only Save Ohio. If you can guess the comment.
Congrats, Ohio.
You like Ohio. 57th for the terrific Tracy. Bless you, whoever that was coughing.
Too late.
That was my sister.
Oh. I have it down as 63rd. 63rd for Alan Schweitzer. Oh, he's had another PB. There he is. So 55th for Alan Schweitzer. I'm going to guess that is. Apologies for the pronunciation.
I hosted him for my 230.
Ooh, nice. Another German runner. German's
Not
like
again.
For the world.
198th? No? Have they PB'd as well? All these people just getting new PBs. Really inconsiderate for the podcast. Seriously, I can't find it.
How dare you do better?
Yeah.
Are there any more
or it's just
Callan
disappeared.
runners?
Why? Oh no, there we go. 151st now. So jump from 198 to 151st. Bark the Wire.
Another German runner.
Another German runner. 239th for Serene Dragon. I think that's, yeah, so Scottish runner. That was to Garth. 261st for Krachel. Well established German runner. 303rd for Timmy. There we are. What flag is that? Poland. I don't know flags at all.
Really?
I don't know flags at all, honestly. I just had to check the Scottish one. Oh.
Looks like a electrode.
313th for Speedy Shark. I know that's the US flag. I can do that one.
What's the one beneath it?
Isn't that Czech Republic?
Good job, Sherry.
Oh, really? Well done. Yeah. 314th for Frosty Low. No, so it looks like Frosty Dildo. 328th for M-Chan.
Do you see that flag? Yo.
Which one?
Yeah, the Un Tío Raro flag. It's that one.
Where's that? Oh, I do know
Who's
that?
that?
Whoa. I feel like I recognize that one.
333rd.
I absolutely know it.
Amoeba?
No.
I don't
I
know.
am very angry.
Oh, is it Catalonia? It is. That's whatever. At least I said I recognised it. I knew it seemed familiar. Yeah. 344th for Daniel 1RD. That was 345th, so he's PB'd again.
Good job, Daniel.
Well, he was dead last month. So we are seeing improvements from this man.
I've recognised his name. He's a Cars runner.
Why does SRC have... I love that SRC has regional flags. Let me just go to my profile and show you the Lincolnshire flag. Look at that shit. Do you know
My
how
town
many...
doesn't have one.
Like, this is a county. Do you know how many Lincolnshire runners there are?
The-
Quite a few, apparently, actually. Wow. We've got more.
What the fuck is that? What's a Lincolnshire?
Lincolnshire's a county. It's the county I live in.
Nice.
all of
Nice
the
there.
United States flags
Can
are.
you have more
in
monkey ball runs?
Yes, I have done a few Monkey Ball 2 runs, yes.
Holy crap!
Does Monkey Ball have enough categories? Do you think?
No.
Well, bear in mind, there's lots and lots of miscellaneous categories, and there's also.
Hold on. There are 4 not first place runs here. You've got work to do.
Literally hide the missed categories and see how many of them disappear. Hardly any of them.
True. Right. Well, the thing is, right. So, the game has 4 challenge modes, yeah, and a story mode. So that's 5 effectively obvious categories in the first place. Each difficulty also has 3 different ways of playing it. So you can just play it through normally. You can play it through while intentionally only taking non-warp goals, so you have to play all the levels, so that's an all-level run. And then you can use glitches in the challenge mode and the story mode categories to skip a shitload of runs, so that's any percent. So that then gives you 3 variants for each of the 5 main categories, apart from story mode, which can't do warped. And then the PAL game plays differently to the NTSC game, so they've split those 2 up as well. So there's 5 different categories for the challenge mode runs and 3 for story mode. So I actually haven't run all of the main categories. There's still like.
Boo, where's my Pokemon content?
Super Monkey Pokeball too.
I like Monkey Ball, so I'm going to explain that.
See, I'm just waiting for you to get contacted by the guy that does all the Pokemon, or not Pokemon, all the speedrun world record videos, and it's just like all.
The irony is that the main category for Super Monkey Ball 2 is story mode all levels, and I'm like 5th. So
Rip. Better get to worry on that.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the Pokemon Con.
Yay.
Nothing for Glitchless Classic. Nobody claiming that money, the shmoney, that was it Pseudo Trainer that put the.
I think so.
Yeah, I think Pseudo Trainer put bounties on Classic. Nobody claiming it. Red NSC gets 15th for SL Weed, 35th for Spirasta,
who's tied apparently with a Brazilian runner.
Who is?
Weed.
I totally knew that was a Brazilian flag.
Seriously?
I don't know flags. I knew the Canadian one because it's got a big maple
Right.
in the middle.
You see, just come last. What is that flag?
I don't know. I couldn't even give you an educated guess.
Seriously?
No, I don't know. I don't know that flags.
I've never seen an Indian runner.
To be fair, yeah, I haven't. So the mental gen, I want to say that's Italian, but that could be the wrong. No, it is good.
It's Italian.
Be... The problem is there's loads of flags where it's like, oh, if it's orientated this way, it's Italy, but if you turn it on its side, it's fucking Switzerland.
Yeah, what
or
about
some
Brazil?
Shit.
Hungary. My God.
Where was the other one? Oh, 53rd for Samos. No
What's
relation to
Pro
Samos.
Winks flag?
No idea. I was going to say China, but that's probably wrong.
I'm pretty sure it's Taiwan.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a hard one.
Nothing for Pocket Monster Stadium, which is a pretty standard state of affairs.
Well, considering the last 2 months, no, it's not.
No, because Japanese Pocket Monster Stadium hasn't had a run in a long while.
Oh, Japanese. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the Japanese Stadium 1, English Stadium 0, effectively.
Stadium 0.
Yeah. Yellow, any percent glitchless, only has 1 PB, but it's Araya in 6th. Making some big moves here. Almost 2 minutes off of the record. NSC also has Araya in 2nd place. Still a decent chunk off of Pokeguy's sub 13 run. And then 4th place for Crachel. So Crachel appearing in multiple Gen 1 games as well. From Yellow, there's Hey You Pikachu, didn't get any PBs this month. TCG.
Okay, it's fair you didn't mention this, but I PB.
You PB'd in what?
In Yellow, like 5 days ago, and I actually tied Werster.
Did you? Oh, you did? No,
well, it's not submitted because it's really bad, but I promise. I also have an unrecorded 152 in Yellow.
Oh, wow. GG's. Congrats on
Thank you.
record. TCG.
Looking forward to that.
Stop interrupting me, damn it, or you're all off. Embarrass myself with more flags that I don't know. TCG Ooge improves his second place, but doesn't bop with GTN TG yet. Shouts to Ooge, a regular for the TCG. TCG PBs, that's a difficult one to say. And then 21st for Mojito Monday. I don't know what flag. What's Horo's flag?
Portugal.
Portugal.
I don't even know where Horo's from, so I'm pretty bad.
What is 23rd's flag? I'm gonna give you a flag quiz on every page now.
That's KB's on.
KB's on Chile.
Oh, that's Sheila.
I say I had no chance of guessing the flag, but I would have been able to remember where KB's on's from. Pokemon Snap, the busiest one on the leaderboards this month, I think, or does Red beat it out? Oh, it's tied with Red. Okay.
Well, if you combine it with Wii U VC.
Yeah, we'll give it to Snap again. So obviously, big new record from LiamKings. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride for Drogie. Then from there, 6th for CC Neverender. So PBs as well, just missing out on the 6th ever 20. 8th for Proton Man 5. 12th for Danimal Sounds. These are all very familiar names from last month. These were all PBs last month as well, I think. I think CC Neverender is probably the only newest one. 15th for Collins VG. 19th for Reizu. 21st for CJ It's All Good. All of these people are in the tournament as well. 31st for Keto. Always going to shout out Keto, fellow Monkey Ball runner. Cool guy. 42nd for Swedish Ninja Fish. 45th for Chicken Hawk Sama. 63rd for Amber 24. And 65th for CDN Gamer. I presume that's short for Canadian Gamer. Then if we go over to Wii U VC. An SRC plays ball. There it is. The man, the myth, the legend, Ty Kevin picks himself up 4th place. And then 7th for Mrs. Canderia. So this is about the only leaderboard you're going to see Huma's DS hasn't PB'd in this month, by the way. Remember that name, because it's going to come up a lot. A bit. Whom.
Nice use of whom.
Whomstuv. Pinball obviously getting the big new record from Callum. 8 Echo picks up a Redfield PB. And on Bluefield, Shrimpy Boy. It's 4th place. So the big
Nice name.
Callum's kind of killed the leaderboards. RIP, can we have an F in chat, please? Thank you. Moving on to Stadium. 10th place for Get Low. And 29th for Snubby King. Pretty quiet for Stadium 1, I'd say. 2 BBs this month. Stadium.
No instant record for anybody?
No free record. Gold Silver getting absolutely no love. Which is becoming quite standard now. Yeah. Stadium 2 obviously getting the big recce.
When it's Werster joining the podcast?
Don't know. When
would you prefer for Werster to join the podcast, or just have really 10 people playing Pinball Ruby Sapphire? What would you prefer?
Pinball. That's not even a difficult choice.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Werster. I need pinball runners. God damn it.
Yeah, sorry, Werster.
Rip. It's an interesting point about Werster's run as well is that when he finished it, he thought he'd got a 2:06:02, and then live split playing games with the man and added 2 seconds to his run. Don't know if he's figured out how that happened yet.
Yeah, not sure what's going on, but when they retimed it, it worked out to be to the 2:06. Yeah, because he showed a capture of the video of the YouTube video, and his live split timer was a higher time than the video's timer. And obviously, it doesn't start
Timer doesn't start until the second into the run, so something's clearly wrong there. Golders were also picking up
traveling
fifth.
close to the speed of light, so as time dilation occurred.
How did we not think of it?
Run was too quick.
Gen 2 is second worst speedrun category. Second worst? What's the worst?
Guess. Starts with S, ends with Vun.
I have never tried 7 to make a comment.
Same.
I've never tried 2 either, so and I really don't want to try 2. So speaking of Gen 2, Crystal gets no PBs. Really no love for Gen 2 right now. To really hammer in how little love there is, Trading Card Game 2 has more PBs. First place for Blaze Flozart, and second place for Ooge. So Ooge really stabling in the second place on TCG leaderboards right now. From here, Ruby Sapphire only had Exarion's record. Pokemon Channel has no PBs, but we're always going to take an excuse to blame this crap layout.
What is this? Pikachu noticed the weed.
Please fix this. There's 5 people down here that could all... We've been asking for 11 months. For the love of God, get rid of this. But then... Pokemon Pinball actually has a PB! Yay! 6th place in Ruby Field for Camembry. They actually recorded a 22x PB. Unfortunately, they used an outdated emulator, which they actually used for this PB, but because they'd recorded this a lot like before the new rule set came in, it was allowed, but the new one was rejected because it's an old emulator version now.
We didn't actually say that. The Gen 3 emulator is now MGBA and not Visual Boy Advance.
Correct. All 3 of the Game Boy Advance games that it actually applies to, which I didn't realise there's that few Game Boy Advance Pokemon games. But yeah, there's Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, FireRed, LeafGreen, and Pinball, so 4, not 3, I can't count, have all switched their main emulators. Obviously for the main games, emulators are hidden by default anyway, and I don't think we've had an emulator submission for those for a long time. But Pinball, it's kind of standard for people to run on emulator. So make sure it's up to date. It has to be the latest version of MGBA. Or Camembry had a second place run rejected because of that.
That sucks.
Go get it.
Yeah. I mean, second place is quote unquote free on Ruby Field. There's like a 5-minute difference between me and second place, so.
You're really good, Amoeba.
I'm okay. I'm tied on the first one on Sapphire Field. I could definitely beat both of those.
Dr. Sprinkles.
Colosseum. Yeah. Ryzican. I feel like this has been a theme for a long time as well. Ryzican gets second place in Colosseum. Ryzican always has second place in Colosseum. I don't know how this happened.
I agree.
I'm sure
he gets first place.
I'm sure he had the record at some point, and then Exarion took it back, and now he's just getting second place PBs again. But
yeah,
man's putting in work. Hi, Ryzican.
He did have first for a while.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did. For the 337, I think. If I get this one, he's gonna love me.
This was the other one where there was this in Shiru in Emerald where it was like, oh, they've gone from second place to second place to second place, and there was like 3 or 4 PBs that never moved them up a spot.
Show
like,
us the obsolete. We must see obsolete runs.
Yeah, there you go. So top 10 runs, I think Ryzican's got 5 of them.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. He's never had. Oh, he did have a 337. Was that 337 the record?
It was not. He had a 335.51. That was the record.
I'm so angry.
To be fair, that was record for 3 months, so I'm slightly underselling him there.
Yep.
Apologies.
Exarion got 334 on December 6th, and the 335 was September 29th.
And then for all snags, Ryukin, I believe, improves his record. I believe he had this already. Yes. A good
I
chunk.
didn't know this existed.
All Snags was something that Gino had really pushed for a while. Quite a unique run, but hella long. Like 6.5 hours is chunky. Unless you're a Gen 7 runner.
I mean, compared to the other catch-em-all categories that are in Gen 3, it's pretty short.
True, but it's catch 'em 60, not like catch 'em all, really. It's like only 60 Pokemon. On to FireRed LeafGreen. I don't think it's been uploaded.
Yep, it has.
Hey, pulseeffects has a 204.
204.16, 4 seconds faster than his previous 204.20.
Was it a decent run? I presume you watched it.
It was fine. Like, there's gonna be places where his run can improve, but he's pretty sure that he can get a high 202 now. So he is on the world record grind.
Hype.
Come back to me when you're using Charmander.
Well,
TH.
see you at GDQ.
But the question is, how much slower is DS?
True.
Yeah, I bet he
no.
didn't get it because of the ass.
We're gonna have to figure it out.
Is it 25 seconds?
Oh wow, 10.
Probably.
I'm not. I was about to say, am I the highest Charmander run now? I think I am, because Snorm switched to Squirtle eventually, didn't he? He was a proper traitor and actually went to Squirtle, like being the original Charmander run.
What about your speedrunning's biggest choke amoeba?
Let's not talk about it.
No, show it.
You used to do like Charmander in round 2 as well.
Yeah, I think his PB for round 2 is still Charmander,
It probably is.
which is nuts considering he's 3rd place. With Charmander takes a significant dip in round 2.
Yeah. You have the toxic fucking wilds.
Oh, I'm not gonna look at that right now. From here, the Emerald only gets the 1 PB by some guy with 666 at the end of his name.
Yeah, some normie.
Fucking no. That's a complete lie.
That's-
Jock MS has 25th. Why have I not written this down?
Oh,
Trash.
congratulations.
Congrats to him.
Yeah, he runs in DS. He's probably faster than my run, honestly.
Yeah.
DS loses 40 minutes. So congrats on what is effectively world record, Jock. Well
Wait,
played.
if that loses 40 minutes, what about my Sapphire run?
No, you're not good.
Oh. Right, okay, well, where's your Sapphire run?
Emerald,
Mine's on Ruby because I'm actually a god.
Okay, it's what God is nowadays. Ruby.
I point out that I think I have like 9th place on every leaderboard now.
Consistency.
No, you're
People-
10th in black.
Yeah, I'm like,
And
that was
8th on Emerald, but you're
8th.
just better at Emerald.
It's like 8th Emerald, 9th FireRed, 10th Black. God damn.
You're also 11th somewhere, right? No, that's black.
No, I will be 11th if PokeGuy uploads his run. Whatever.
Yeah.
Pokemon Dash gets nothing because it's a bad game and deserves nothing. XD gets Rauflagon in 3rd. I repeat Ebia for XD, I believe. Oh no, not for a little while. I'm full of crap. Yeah.
He does play it a lot though, so.
Now, I'm sure there was Mystery Dungeon.
So many new runners.
No, there wasn't. Trozy gets nothing. Mystery Dungeon actually is quiet this month. Red Blue has no new PBs that I could see. Mostly because the Mystery Dungeon legend Humus DS decided to get record in Pokemon Ranger.
So he got it.
Also, 7th place for Rob the Gamer. I don't know anything about Ranger. I'm not even going to pretend like I know anything. You spin stuff on the screen, and that catches Pokemon. extent of my knowledge.
It's my girlfriend's favorite game. I think I should dip her, honestly.
It's not that bad.
It could be like what's the really trash Pokemon?
When's Ranger 99?
Never finished a run and can't find. Jeez. Well done, Gym Freak. You tried, out of 10. Battle Rev gets a PB from Cruel. Cruel has been playing every Pokemon game under the sun. Not surprised to see him on here. No PBs in Mystery Dungeon Time Darkness, but that's a fairly quiet game. Another Ranger PB. So we're actually going to see 2 Ranger games this month. And it's Huma's DS again. What a genius. So the double Ranger record for Huma's DS. I told you you'd see that name a lot.
Yeah, didn't forget actually.
No PBs for Platinum, so Gen 4 not really getting much love this month. Mystery Dungeon Sky has 1 PB. That's Beat Darkrai with Wonder Mails. New world record by Mozzarella Cheese. I believe that's an improvement of the record not taking it. Yeah. Got 4 minutes off of an 8-hour run. Bloody hell.
Well, how is this run so long?
Sky has a lot of content, and Beat Darkrai is post-game content, so yeah, any percent runs 5 hours, and then Beat Darkrai is like a post-game dungeon.
Crafted, you're being called out.
Abandoned
Platinum. Crafted's running the good gen. Fine. Pokemon Rumble. Now this is RDA's pride and joy, but it's not RDA we're seeing on the leaderboard this time. It's Huma's DS again. That's
Rumble
appearance number
Blast.
4. And Tutela Fiber. So
He runs the most random runs too.
Who, Huma's or Tutela?
I guess both.
Yeah. Well, Huma's DS just runs all of the side games. But Tutela was a bit of a surprise one. Just a random Rumble run. Out of nowhere.
I kind of want to learn to do Rumble.
It's a fun looking game. I was surprised how decent it looked when I saw it in one of the marathons.
I have to look into running it.
No,
I thought Rumble was a shuffle.
Hmm?
I guess it's not. Yeah, I thought it was just like a shuffle game, like Pokemon Drogie.
No.
Oh no! It's a beat 'em up.
Interesting.
At Gold Soul Silver, no love this month. The Gen 4 really does get short shifted. Pokepark. Second place for Huma's DS. What a surprise. And 9th place for RDA, Rubber Ducky Assassin. And then All Friends is all the runs for some reason. I don't know what happened here.
What the
But literally all 6 runs on the leaderboard are PBs this month. I don't know if this was a new category?
I guess?
No, it's not. Deathline improved what was the world record from 2 years ago.
Is this a conspiracy?
God knows. I think it's
Is
possibly
it recently added?
It's not, is it? Because there's 2 runs on here from 2
well,
years ago.
Yeah,
Well,
it can't be
when are they
recently added.
submitted?
There's, guess click Deathline's 2 years ago run.
28th of January. Yeah, so it is a recent leaderboard. So Huma's DS and Mozzarella are the 2 big PMD runners. I'm not surprised to see both of them together. I think Lagging Gamer is also a PMD runner, so he may have come along with. Same for Rob the Gamer was in another leaderboard earlier. So that was Ranger. So I think they've all kind of come across together as friends. And then I don't know why Deathline. I imagine Deathline's just running it because it got a leaderboard. Yeah, it was a bit weird to go over to this leaderboard and be like, why is all of it new?
That's really weird. I've never seen something like this.
Pokebat's another surprisingly decent run. I was greatly entertained when I watched that in a marathon.
It's got some glitches.
Yeah. And then to complete the trifecta, the third and final Pokemon Ranger game gets a new world record by Huma's DS. So in a single month, he's taken all 3 records in runs that are like 8 hours long.
He beat the second time by 40 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
To steal your effort, amoeba, he is the Ranger.
Ah, yeah. It took me a moment to make the connection that you were going for there, yes. But Ranger, whom is dear. Yeah. Congrats to him. I said we'd be seeing his name a lot, and boy have we. Well, there we go to Black White. This has had some action this month. The Retro Tato picks up a 3rd place. 318. I believe he's chasing a 316 now.
Retro?
Yeah.
Alright, I think he's
Nope,
moving on.
ready to move on. I'm just full of shit. 8th place for Etienne. And 16th. Oh no, 13th for Slopdop. New PB.
Oh, have I literally just not submitted my black-white PB? Whoops.
Nope. What's your PB,
Oh.
JP?
Well, I have a 325.50. I guess I should upload that.
I'm still 10th, that's fine.
He was
Just
he was
behind
sweating,
I
man.
was worried. Amoeba literally sweating.
He was fucking sweating.
It's like, please be top 10. And then,
I'm not that good.
obviously
You're
not.
gonna get kicked out, Amoeba.
No, yeah, I'm going to be gone any moment now. And then obviously the not uploaded yet, but new record in JPN for Buster. Should go back.
not
Yes. Everybody should go back. Everybody should just run black in general because it's just an underappreciated run at the moment.
And you get to kill Sawaddle, I mean.
Just fuck off. Animal.
Everyone should run white too.
Yeah,
It's like black, but better.
but you do have to put a lot of effort into running that game because it's scary, and I don't want to go.
Oh
do that.
yeah, fucking timer 0.
Rilda. Like,
Oh goodness.
Double timer 0 scams.
Yeah. Like just timer 0 times 2. Why not?
Pokepark 2. 2nd place for Zelda Fan 01. 3rd place for Whom is DS. And 6th for Cruel. The Pokepark 2 getting quite a bit of love.
Why do I recognize like nearly every name on that leaderboard
Well,
from really bizarre games?
Deathline is a Pokepark staple. Whom is
Yeah.
DS is Whom is DS. Laurie D. Bunnykins, I'm fairly sure, is Snap.
I recognize that from marathons. I recognize Cruel from everywhere under the sun.
Rules everywhere. I want to figure out where. I'm sure I recognize the Laurie D. Bunnykins one from like Snap or something.
Crow's just the gamer, honestly. She's a true gamer.
I see Zelda Fan 01, who I remember from My Sims Agents. And
So many games.
Wow, yeah. Oh, Super Monkey Ball 2. Really got some good taste. Okay, maybe that's where I recognise him from. Gary the Gyarados is about the only one I don't recognise.
you recognize Otterstone?
Yes, from something? Am I full of shit? Am I full of shit?
Otterstone ran Cars 2 on the DS, that's why I know
Oh,
them.
really? Weird.
Cars 2. That's a game?
Yes!
Scoa has record in that game.
I have record.
Yeah, that was it. So Otter is coming up. Actually, I think that's why I recognise it. It's because in the next game we're going to look at in the leaderboard roundup, he's got 1st place in a category. So yeah, that's why I recognise that one. But yeah, from Pokepark 2 we go to, if the window would ever close, click the thing. Conquest. Any percent gets 3rd place for Cruel, who is just running everything ever. Oh, I had. Why is that? Not. 2 Heroes of Ransai should be 1st place for Otterstone. I've just seen it.
Maybe it got
Oh, single
deleted?
chapters. No, that's why they put it in as a single chapter. There it is.
Okay.
Ooh. Yes, I think this
Wait,
was
why?
What? Why?
right. I know exactly what this is because I saw it in the leaderboard mod discussion. So there was this category on the right called 2 Heroes of Ransai. The idea of this category is that you play the main game and then you play all of the post game content until you've beaten the last chapter, which is the 2 Heroes of Ransai. And Otterstone Gamer submitted a speedrun purely of that chapter alone to that category, because the category itself doesn't state that you actually have to play the full game. It just says beat 2 heroes of Ransai. So, Ridelith was asking, how do we, what do we do here? Because the kind of point of the category has been undermined, but it wasn't really written out very well. I think that's why they've created a single chapters section. There you go. Nice bit of inside knowledge. From Conquest, no PBs for Black White 2. Crafted dies a little bit inside.
312 next month.
Crafted's going to be running that. Well, Crafted is running that. I think you've started streaming attempts now, haven't you?
Yep.
Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity gets no runs because it's a bad game. Nothing for Rumble U, nothing for XY. Garfield cries a little bit. Do have PBs for Oras. Any percent, 17th place for Head Bob. 22nd for Mitsune. And 27th. No?
Well, that's 23rd for Mitsune.
Third for Mitsune, because the 4th gen gamer has gone from 27th to 21st. The new PB. I think it's a bit of a disgrace that you're going to call yourself the 4th gen gamer and then run a 6th gen game of a 3rd gen remake, but you do you.
This game is more popular than I thought it was.
Oras, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to be honest, I can't really give you a reason why this would be. Why it's got more runs than Emerald.
It's actually a bit sad.
Nothing for Rumble World, nothing for Super Mystery Dungeon, nothing for Sun Moon. The 2 records that we covered for UltraSun Moon. Nothing for Detective Pikachu. Not really surprising.
But there's a movie.
That movie's going to be your key. So good.
It's gonna be so canon.
It comes out 2 days after my birthday.
Wow, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Then let's go. So
It's gonna be a long one.
we can't. No, it's
Not that long.
not ridiculous. The activity in this game has dropped off sharply between last month and this month.
Really?
7 PBs across the 2 main categories. So Eddaket with his first place run, Snorms with 2nd, Gym Freak with 5th, chasing that sub 310. 11th for Keys. Keys' only appearance across the leaderboards, and his comment is "Video games suck." Happy boy. 29th for 16-bit Ferret. 37th for Drowls, and 43rd for Silky Smooth. That's it for PBs. Pikachu PBs. First place again for Eddaket. 2nd place for Wartap. 3rd for
2
Curvis.
second difference there, by the way.
Oh yeah! Wow, I didn't realise that was that close. I don't believe Eddaket's run this as seriously yet. I believe EV is his main focus at the moment. So 3rd place for Curvis, 5th for Skateman 222, 6th for Nako or Nako, another English runner, 7th for Sean D, and 8th for Pancakes 707. So the 7 PBs in Pikachu were in the top 8.
And the majority of them have happened. I'm actually not sure if Kerbis's happened right before the split, but they all those PBs occurred after the split, so it's definitely caused more activity.
Yeah, it's nice to see. Wonder if some of the runners that are with lower downtimes will come back to try and improve this a bit.
We'll
I know
see.
some people will have copies of Pikachu and potentially feel a bit bummed out that they've got the slower copy, potentially. Jock gives it a hard never. And obviously the any percent co-op PBs are the ESA races, and I believe that's it. Oh, and Araya and Retro Tato. Came in second place in Eevee. Obviously the Robo Sparkle Retrotato one. Right, Robo Sparkle Retrotato 1 is the ESA run.
Retro has to get 2 PVs in order to take third and fourth. Like, he could have literally all 4 Pokeballs.
He used to have both records actually for any percent in co-op.
He had at some point for last month's podcast he had any percent 1 player 2 controllers and 2 player 2 controllers. At all 3 of them. Yeah, I think he just missed out on it for the last month's podcast because Hashed Rice beat it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And that does it for this month's PS podcast. We have well overrun the normal 2 hours that we would be going for. By a good chunk, but that's always a good sign.
Kind of dying here.
Sorry, Shiru.
Don't worry, it was really fun.
We're going to stop so that Shiru can go to sleep. This boy's got to go rest before he goes to get a yellow record.
Oh boy.
Shiru's not allowed back on until you get yellow record. Scoa, you're not allowed back on until you get black JPN record. Crafted, you're not allowed back on until you get whatever the hell it was you were chasing in Black White 2.
312.
312. And JP, you're just not allowed back on because it's not fair if I don't do it for you as well.
I'll go get FireRed record beer.
I want to thank everybody for watching. Reminder that I do have a Discord. Follow me on Twitter. The Discord has a lot of news for the podcast if you want to follow that. Definitely tune in for next month's podcast. I'm hoping that we'll have some big news. I have some stuff planned. I don't want to make any promises yet, but it could be good. Could be not. I may want to forget this. But yeah. Potentially one to watch. I haven't said that. I haven't actually given anything a one to watch stamp.
Oh my god, you haven't.
Managed to get through it. Almost. Yeah, thank you very much, Shiru and JP. Much appreciated. Once again, congrats on your record, Shiru.
My pleasure, and thank you.
Hopefully we'll have you both back on very soon.
Next month, I'm calling it.
You're just going to beat the Emerald record casually. Emerald any percent, man. Just take a free one.
Nah, no way, dude. I cannot be bothered.
Never mind. Yes, thank you to everybody for watching, and we will see you next month.
Alright, thank you.
Bye-bye.